Delta. I think I had a different strain. I had a lot of fever though for like 4 or 5 days. And throat, scratchy throat, really painful coughing. And then it got better. So for a second there, I was like, I'm gonna be that fun, statistic.
So this is Mike, aka x.nte.
Max, is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything that I can do for you to make your life easier?
Pretty
Let's go.
happy to be one of those people that hadn't gotten it. And I've heard of cases where like everyone got it but the smokers, so I'm not like I just think they're one guy stopped Come on in.
It's probably locked. Mr. Kurtz? No, it's Mr. Kurtz.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Maybe it was like one of those teddy bear backpacks, but it was huge. Hey, I'm Amanda. Hey Max, nice to meet you. Hey Max, nice to meet you. Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, we know that. But I I'm really good at the
Lev's coming. He also didn't know what the call time was because it's all of y'all.
I'm glad because I thought it was like.
I just left my house in
I get very nervous when I'm being recorded. I was gonna go there because I wanted to be more beside, but I think this is the spot they reserved for you.
Where's the camera?
It's everywhere. I tried going there to hide.
It's a super wide angle on top of the TV. I think there's also one there.
Smile, sleeves.
Yeah, none of us are not. the switcheroo already. No, I just didn't pour as much.
Not be a nightmare.
Ooh, are we doing lava layer?
Check.
Getting
Check.
lava.
What?
You're getting lava.
I'm getting what?
Lobbed.
I don't know what that means.
Lavalier microphone.
Check. 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 He will talk.
Meow meow. Meow 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 meow. Repeat it, or do you wanna just read it all together?
You hear that?
Meow.
We can read it all together. That
Yes.
sounds like we're gonna get some stuff
But
wrong.
it sounds
Yeah, sure, I don't care.
doesn't sound like
This
isolated.
camera
No?
and this
No.
one. And those two. So there's 3 cameras. This one is mobile. These will be like
Is the microphone working? Like, is it on? Yeah, it's on. You turn it on. Like the cylinder part?
Where's your bathroom? Sydney's actually here. Oh.
Where's the...
Willow, can you check?
Oh no, the battery fell out.
Oh, battery fell out? Never mind. Just a second.
No more. Yeah, well, I was frantically running around my house looking for them. And I was like, I have to print this here. Yeah, we can change. I'm sitting this. I think about it, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fit, you're gonna have to move on to the bench with Amanda, and then, we're gonna see the hands. Good to see you, love. So Willow's gonna be double one, and then that one is gonna be
Snowstorm and cyclone, stay true.
Oh, and also because this mic gets on us
There's
and
gonna be
farther
another
away.
time. Okay.
No, it's more about positioning who it is.
Okay. I was like, wait, I don't know.
Some of those questions are very
Is it on?
specific to you.
Are there?
I mean, just ones that I could answer. They're like, it's like what started the bakery. So
Am I supposed to say like the real thing, or am I supposed to say I was really down in my life? Something. Yeah, what's
the real thing? I feel like that's the real thing.
Hey Matt, there's so many things I could say.
I would just say let it ride, dude. People, no one watches the normal interviews.
Is
You're so slick.
Yeah?
So I like that.
Will you just touch me? Thank you. Consent given. Do whatever you need.
Grab the clip from her and then check it, wait for her.
This one's us, well as a lot, and there's gonna be another
Check it
spot,
away.
another area mic for, I'm assuming.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Yeah, we need to find you. It's a big old glass.
Turn the battery backwards, maybe it's in the
No, I'm excited.
It's fine, yeah, it's good. It was interesting to be around it, all to be around it.
Earlier I had them up in the little cute like voiceovers.
Is it dead or something?
But these
I have a bunch of batteries on there.
Let's try this one. You guys look great. You guys got the summer vibe. Oh, what?
Checkity check check, yeah. All right.
And then we'll put this on. Yeah, we can do a test. Oh, let's Xenia, I'm gonna actually do you mind sitting where that stool Willow's gonna sit there? Xenia, you're gonna sit in the big chair, if that's okay.
The big chair?
Yeah. Because you're not mic'd up, because we gotta get you closer to the boom mic above so we can hear you.
That sounds great.
Am I gonna talk? You're gonna be mic'd up a lot. Oh, I am.
Yeah, the three of us are in chorus.
I am? Oh, no. Well, where am I going to sit? I actually did an interview today.
I'm gonna be setting up all the hot pot over there, or if we can maybe over here, that would be cool. Cool. Yeah, we'll figure out what you keep on playing.
A lot of activity.
Check check.
Is that the one? Okay, like
I think it works now.
sauce people.
Can you repeat all of that again? I'm sorry.
Check check.
It's on right now. But was that the trick? I have no idea. I think I just fiddled around with that.
One check check. Musical guest Nelward will be playing in T-minus 7 minutes. T-minus 7 minutes.
You're going to make that switch. This is my hey, this is my low, this is my hello. Hello, I can hear myself.
Yeah, I'm ready. Do I just stand here at the starting? Hell yeah.
This is our musical guest, Nelward.
Cool. Am I starting now?
Yeah, it's all you, baby.
Hell yeah. My name's Nelward, as he said.
Welcome to Hot Pot Talk Block.
Welcome to Hot Pot Talk Block.
Talk it, talk it.
I have formulated a special live stream set. Special for live stream sets.
No shit.
Yeah, and
Hell
it's
yeah.
because normally I dance around and stuff live, but didn't really feel like doing that here. So anyway, here's the first song. Thank you. So for this next song, I'm going to be singing. It's going to be very loud and annoying, but we'll see how it goes. Hold up here. Make sure all the buttons are right. All right. Hold up. Yeah, there we go. This is called The Werewolf. I'm about to sing. Sorry to interrupt. When the day becomes the night, something else comes to my side. Every full moon must collide. When the violence silence all the sirens. Where's the wolf that's feeding on the high? I wanna know now, have you seen it? Where's the wolf that's feeding on the high? I need to know now, have you seen it? In the days of stone and ice, heard that rain fall out of sight. Now your game's in broad daylight. When the violence silenced all the sirens you set up, you did this to yourself. You thought that you could rig the game and rob us still. You said the beast was on the loose. Now maybe that was true, 'cause now we know that all this time the werewolf was you. The werewolf was you. All the sirens you set up, you did this to yourself. You thought that you could rig the game and rob us still. You said the beast was on the loose. Yeah, maybe that was true, 'cause now we know that all this time the werewolf was you. The werewolf was you. The wolf that's feeding on the high. I knew. It's different. You're the wolf that's feeding on the high. I knew. You're the wolf that's feeding on the high. Thank you. I'm gonna play a new song now, and if I mess it up, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be singing on it though. Hey, that was me. Can I go now? Oh, should I go now? Yeah. Way for kings and queens, something we've never seen. one, the whole damn squad is talking through your song. You long for the aux chord, therefore from measure one. I'm 10 feet tall, I'm so honest. People say I tell lies they like, but I'm getting the hunch that they won't pack my lunch. Let's be honest. And I'll never change. And I'm still the same. I rearrange. But I'm still the same, yeah. No. All right. Well, I had one more planned. Should I play it or?
You should
Sure.
You should definitely play
I
it.
actually, there's a music video for this one that I debuted at the bakery so long ago,
Oh shit.
and so I have very fond memories of playing at the bakery. But I wanted to play mostly new songs, but this one, you know, it's a, yeah, it was debuted at the Pete Though Show event, and yeah. So yeah, here goes. Hold up. I'm trying to think if I should record this. Why not? We'll record it. We'll record it. Everybody, yeah. Rock your body, yeah. Read my lips, but don't you dare reply, 'cause I am just a dinosaur, alive inside a screen. Bring me out and hang me up to dry. I don't believe in dinosaurs, but I know ghosts are real. There's a ghost in my home, but it's better than being alone, reading red receipts with no replying. Yes, my house is haunted, that's just what I wanted, red receipts with no replying. Grab me by the ghost and suck my eyes. I don't believe in animals. Milk comes from the trees. Is you am a specter of the night? 'Cause I am just an animal, a strange anemone. There's a ghost in my home, but it's better than being alone, reading red receipts with no replying. Yes, my house is haunted, that is what I wanted, red receipts with no replying. There's a ghost in my home, but it's better than being alone. When you go light up my phone, I'm crying. Yes, my house is haunted, Send receipts with no replying. When you don't light up my phone, I'm crying. When you don't light up my phone.
That concludes the Nelward Hot Pot live set.
Thank you, Nelward, so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank you
playing
for having me.
on Hot Pot Talk Blog. Yeah, that was sick. Let's start the show. Let's start the.
Doing hot pot, doing hot pot, hanging out with wax, doing friggin' hot pot, texting all our friends cause we're doing friggin' hot pot, doing hot pot, doing hot pot, put it in the pot, doing friggin' hot pot, dip it in the sauce, yo we're doing friggin' hot pot, doing hot pot, doing hot pot. Doing hot pot, doing hot pot, doing hot pot, doing hot pot, doing hot pot.
Yes. Welcome to another edition of Hot Pot Talk Block. This is the 9th episode. It's hard to believe. I got a good one for y'all tonight. It's been a long time coming. I've been looking up to you guys for a while now. It's the bakery, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. This would not have been possible without my my reoccurring character Alice. She's been killing it in terms of booking all these interesting people onto the show. Excited to have her on again. Alice. What's up, Alice? What's going on? Where are you? Can't even see you. There you go. Let's get you that microphone. Where did that microphone go? Oh, didn't I give you a microphone? It's right here. What's up, Alice?
Hey Max, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, let's get your levels right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let's turn the music down. There you go. What's up, Alice?
Hey.
You ready for another? Your like 50th hot pot?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a hot pot king now.
You're the hot pot. I'm the hot pot king, actually. You're the hot pot queen.
That's true.
Yeah. Who's all your friends here? Let's go around the table and introduce everybody, shall we?
Yeah, so we have everyone from the bakery, or people that I invited from the bakery.
Yeah.
So first we have Willow, the co-founder. Pronouns are she, her.
Willow, welcome to Hot Pot Talk Blog.
Yay! And next we have Lev.
Hello, what's up?
Lev.
He's in charge of all the media at bakery, and his pronouns are he, him.
Makes the best drinks in town. Also,
I mean, he really does everything at the bakery.
jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Ambassador.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll get into it later. Let's keep going on.
Then we have Xenia. She is design and production.
Xenia.
Pronouns are she and her.
That's me.
Next we have Daniel.
Daniel D. Simone.
Yeah, Daniel does a lot of the sound.
I know Daniel from Athens, actually.
True. It's old blood.
Yeah, old blood, baby.
Very old blood. Also,
I know you too.
I know Daniel from Athens too,
yeah,
baby.
but did you move into Max's house?
I did go to parties at your house.
Yo.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
You guys do hot pot? Nah, Max was gone by the time I went there.
I was too poor to do hot pot then, but now we're here.
This is a big come up.
We started from Athens, now we're in Atlanta,
Now we're
Georgia,
here.
baby. Who's next to Daniel, yo?
And lastly, we have Amanda. She's
Hi.
Amanda,
right
nice to
there.
meet you.
Hey,
Thank you
yeah,
for
nice
coming.
to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Have you guys
Thanks for having us.
Well, when was the last time y'all ate hot pot? Have you guys eaten hot pot before?
Christmas time.
Christmas time?
Christmas time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where'd you eat it at?
JJ's.
Oh, JJ's Mini Hot Pot?
Mhm.
Hell yeah, that's
Yep.
cool.
It's a me and my mom tradition
Oh,
for
really?
Christmas, and then we got some of these ones involved. 'Cause
Cool.
Let's celebrate New Year's.
Food.
Always food.
Yeah, I celebrate New Year's because I grew up with no religion, so.
Yeah, pretty much same here. We eat hot pot at all holidays. We don't discriminate in terms of when we eat hot pot. It's pretty much any time we want, honestly. But yeah, excited to have you guys on.
It's over.
Had a whole...
Call the show.
Wait, what happened? You guys dropped the chopstick?
Daniel needs to go
Yeah,
home.
Xenia angrily slapped the chopstick out of my hand and
Damn,
said,
Daniel's already drunk. We just started.
"No, I'd rather be slamming in the back of my Dracula."
Well, guys, enjoy your hot pot.
Oh, should we do the Pledge of Allegiance to the hot pot first before? I think it'll be good luck if we
Gotta
do that.
pay
right?
respects.
Yeah, Alice is actually the author, and she will be helping us through it today. Shall we?
Okay,
ready.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's do a repeat after me, and then you do it, and then they do it, and then you go back
Love
and
it.
forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to Harry the Hot Pot.
I pledge allegiance to Harry the Hot Pot.
And to all the vegetables and meats.
And to all the vegetables and meats.
For which it stands.
For which
it stands.
One pot under wax.
One pot under wax.
Deliciously so.
Deliciously so.
With hot pot talk block for all.
With
Hot pot talk block for all. Yeah.
Yeah. Familiar with hot pot? You just eat what's in the pot. Put whatever you want in the pot.
So,
Remind us which one's veggie.
This is veggie and this is meat.
true.
Yes, please.
Get in there.
That broccoli.
Yeah, just figure
Y'all have to do a Pledge of Allegiance at your school?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My mom was like, "What is this? I thought we left the Soviet Union."
Really?
Yeah, seriously. It was like very like she's like, "Wait a second. This
I've
is, like,
never said the
super
whole thing
brainwashing."
ever in my life.
Have you read it recently?
I don't even know the anthem.
No,
It's
I
a-
mean,
Oh, we're taking stuff out of there already?
Yes.
you gotta take it out to make some room because that stuff's been
Perfect.
cooking.
Hell yeah.
No, I went to weird private schools that did not do things that were patriotic.
So this is fishball.
Fishball.
Yeah, so
Okay,
the
you're waiting for me. I'm sorry.
I hope you guys like the sauce that I made for y'all. It's basically the sauce that I've been using for hot pot all my life. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Hope you guys like it.
It's delicious.
Just dump that in there.
It's not ready yet.
Oh, I should
Just put it in.
Oh, you
Yeah. Unless you like it raw. I mean, I don't
So the
wanna
things
risk
that
it.
are in there, like, so you're
I
adding
just-
things.
gotcha. I didn't realize, but it's pink. Is this thing good?
Yeah, everything
Okay.
else but the two.
She just added two shrimp.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize.
Hot. Hot.
Hot pot, baby.
Very hot.
Let's
Very
go.
hot.
I might need a
hot.
napkin. Or a object that looks like a
Oh,
towel.
some little
The sauce is really good.
some little enoki mushrooms.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely,
get that in
baby.
there.
Sauce is fire.
Hell
Yeah, it's really good.
Glad you like it.
So you
Yeah,
you're
it
just
is.
home all the
Thank
time?
you.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Well, I mean, like for the holidays.
Throw some in for me.
The non-discriminatory. Oh, thank you, Alice.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We already have a mic over there.
It is very hot. It's a hot.
Yeah, it is very hot.
Wait, so what is that? Yeah, what you put in?
Daikon, I'm
Oh,
assuming,
nice.
yeah.
Daniel's really chefing it up. In here.
Dude, you gotta get it rolling, man. What if I end up hungry and I don't have my things?
I'm starving.
What if I'm like,
Yeah,
man, I would love a
hungry.
daikon radish right now and I don't have a daikon
Those
radish?
mushrooms are so good.
Check one.
Little guys, little
Little
gnocchis.
tiny ones.
They're in gnocchis. They're supposed to be like crazy. What's the word? What's the opposite of carcinogenic? Good for cancer.
Anti-inflammatory.
Sure.
Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to our musical guest Nelward. Thank you so much for performing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna set you up on the
Wherever-
stool right
wherever
here.
Nelward is.
As soon as we get set up with the mic and stuff like
Daniel, I
that.
got your text. I just didn't respond to any
Oh,
text.
it's
I'm
fine.
sorry, that's wild.
It's wild.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. You guys ever
Did
just
you
feel
get
like
stuff done at least?
Today?
You said
I
you
got
were-
stuff done.
You said you were busy, so
I was busy.
I hope busy means productive.
No, it does not. having a
The
nice
shrimp are
life.
crazy.
Hot.
Everything's so hot here.
Do you know the clams are done because they pop open? Is that
Yeah. So if they're open, they're done.
I've always appreciated how like hot is the perfect thing to say when something is hot. Like hot.
I'm sure there's something to that. Classic onomatopoeia.
Very tasty sauce, yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Don't look at me struggle, everybody.
Did you put some bok choy? Will you put some bok choy? No, I gotta get the bok choy.
I'm not doing it. I'm done with the clams. They're fighting me.
Clams.
They got some manila clams over there, as well as some shrimp with the heads on
These
it.
potatoes, they're gonna have to hang out in there a minute.
So
Yep.
is hot pot traditional to a specific region?
Not really. Each region has its own version of hot pot. It's basically like a pot in the middle with a burner, and then just whatever sauce that people come up with and stuff like that.
Oh.
But one rule of thumb: let's not make sure not to overload the hot pot. No, I know.
Where's the boil? Where's the boil?
Yeah, you gotta make sure it's boiling and stuff like that. Take whatever you want to eat.
We can eat the tofu. It doesn't need to be cooked.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, we'll get you guys settled in, and I'm gonna ask
That's
you
how
a whole
you
bunch
lose
of
your tofu.
questions.
Got too eager.
Lose your food privileges.
Yep.
What's
Man.
your favorite one so far? Does anyone have a favorite?
The little
potatoes.
mushrooms.
You're right. This fried tofu is really tight. It's like a cloud.
Where'd you get it from?
It's tight, Daniel. It's tight.
Super tight.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Sick tight even.
Pretty much anything that goes into the sauce. Yeah, the sauce is so good.
What is most of the sauce?
Green onions.
The sauce is the base is a Chinese barbecue sauce. That's just what we call it. It doesn't taste like barbecue at all. But it also has rice vinegar, sugar, and soy sauce, and a whole bunch of scallions. I hope you guys like the shrimp with the heads on it. Are you guys into that?
Yeah.
He went for
Not
it.
sure.
We got
Okay.
a head here.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool. With
Hell yeah.
No, where the sauce is right
Alex,
there,
do you
the
mind
dark
throwing one
sauce.
more shrimp in there?
You're supposed to dip it in it.
We gotta get the leafy greens
Yeah.
down.
I feel like I've lived a deprived life because so much of hot pot is not veggie friendly.
Oh, I mean, you can make hot pot veggie friendly all day if you
Oh
want.
yeah, but will I?
Are you vegetarian? You're not vegetarian, are you?
Yeah, I'm vegetarian.
Okay,
But
cool.
It's really-
I cheat. What, sense swing?
No, it's really like pho that like it's so hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
pho.
that is a struggle.
Pho's a
It's
heartbreaker.
you gotta find the veggie broth for sure.
And Pho 24 on Buford has no, the downtown one has veggie
okay,
pho.
okay.
The Buford one does not
Yeah.
have the veggie pho. But
You'll find a chicken broth more often than you will a veggie one.
for sure.
And that don't work for
And that
me.
doesn't make sense. Like usually people that don't eat meat, they
Do you
also
guys
don't eat chicken.
I can do a fish something, but
do you guys make your own veggie broths at home?
I do.
You do? I've started to save all the scraps from the vegetables that I cut up and just throw it all in a pot with water and salt.
It's good for a food waste too.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot. Is the fire on?
So that's what I was about to say. I think the eye's not on. So it could be on.
You wanna try to fire it up, Alice?
You gotta keep the fire bright. This is all my fault. I
I just
dropped.
put a very hot potato in my mouth. It was very.
There it is. The fire is on.
There was a potato down in there, and there's over here, but you gotta make some room in this before we get the potatoes in.
Well,
I think
which
it
one
had
is
been
the
hanging out.
potatoes?
It's over here. You can't see it.
Yeah, let's wait for it to boil before putting anything else in.
I love this this one egg. It's like who's going
Who's gonna have it?
who's gonna receive the egg?
I forgot to buy eggs, and that was.
Oh baby,
that's the only.
I'm sorry.
Like a ceremonial representative.
I'm not
of
coming
the
for
egg.
you. I just
Exactly,
it's
that's
actually kind
exactly
of
what I
a. It's
We
like
won't
that.
eat it then. It's honorary.
I mean, you guys can eat it if you want. I don't care.
It's like that scene in Men in Black when Will Smith gets the table. I think about that all the time.
Oh my god.
Like the where like this
You
is
think
lost.
about this all the time.
I think about the scene in Men in Black where Will Smith, like where he's like with all the like the CIA people, and like, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know the scene?
You guys like drag the table?
Yeah, there's like they're all asked to fill out the form, but like there's no table, and there's one table in the room, and Will Smith walks in the middle of the room and awkwardly drags it to him to fill it out, and that's his sign that he's actually like a good thinker because he doesn't think like the like what's put in front of him. He's like, well, there's one table, I'm gonna get it. So this egg
Is your table.
Is the table.
You know, I saw a Will Smith movie recently.
Wild Wild West?
No. It wasn't an official Will Smith movie. What it was is there's like a anonymous filmmaker collective up in New York. When I was up there in Harlem for a film festival, they screened their movie. I actually don't remember what it was called, but I think it was Earth 2, actually. And they took a bunch of big Hollywood movies and spliced them all up into one movie that had like one narrative arc. So you got like Keanu Reeves from like a dozen different movies, that Will Smith from a dozen different movies, and they all kind of play a character because they all kind of get typecast. This certain, like Will Smith kind of plays like a cop character that's like always just angry and like running and like trying to like catch somebody, and yeah, it was a pretty interesting film because it's like looking at the tropes of specifically like the 80s and the 90s where the world consistently is like about to end.
Right.
Like that's like that, just like taking all of those movie tropes.
Yeah, so it's like, what is it about that era that felt like apocalyptic? And also, I guess in its own way, it does like highlight the like typecasting of actors. Like, yeah, like these could all be easily the same movie.
Yeah, like Keanu Reeves is always playing like a Neo type, like the one.
The specifically Keanu Reeves and Will Smith one is funny. Do you already know about the Matrix thing?
Oh yeah.
The Will Smith turned down the role of Neo in the Matrix for Keanu Reeves to be in Wild Wild West.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, that's.
Wait, Will Smith was gonna be the lead
Was gonna be
in
Neo.
Matrix?
Was gonna be Neo in the Matrix.
That wouldn't really work though, would it?
I think it would have been comparable.
They probably, I mean, knowing Hollywood, they would have probably had to recast Morpheus.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like it would have like yeah, I'm not sure what the dynamics would have played out. I just know that Will Smith took a big L on that one because he could have been Neo, but now he's in Wild Wild West.
I don't think it would have made a difference, honestly. Will Smith would have been looked the same way. I think Keanu, that was his role.
Well, yeah, like they are kind of like they're both sort of like hard boiled, like unemotional, like protagonist cop types.
Yeah, for sure.
Also
in iRobot.
I've never seen it.
Really?
Which one?
Wild Wild West.
It's
like just that it exists is a weird thing, right?
Yes.
I know the soundtrack.
That and like Guns of the South are very interesting.
What?
There was this book, Guns of the South, that got some weird legs, and I think around the time that I was in high school, that was a like historical like reworking of the Civil War if Russians invented time travel and had brought AK-47s to the Confederacy.
Alternate time history.
Sorry, what?
I've been watching this YouTube channel called Alternate History Hub. It's just like alternate universes of like what would have happened in what certain time and stuff like that.
Does it have the same vibe as like what was the World's Strongest Warrior show where it's complete and total bullshit but really fun to watch?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Hot pop top love.
Hey! Every time you say hot, we need a thing.
This is delicious, by the way.
Yeah, really glad you like it.
Are there more napkins?
Hey, stay on your meaty side. Get out of our veggie side.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm joking.
You guys do so much work contributing. I'm taking out. You guys are putting in.
I know. That's why I'm.
But that's the flow, because if we all put in, then it's then we overload.
Yeah, let's say we all need to play our role in society, and mine is as a leech. Even a leech is still there.
What's called baby sausage?
I also forgot to get baby sausages, so there's only one.
Dude, you did it. You did the Will Smith maneuver, dog. You're the big brain.
These shrimp are really good. They're probably good to go, right? The shrimp.
Can I have a bite of your shrimp?
Yeah. You don't want to stick
Expanding.
No, I don't like shrimp.
Oh, dude, I love shrimp. I love meat so much.
The pescatarians don't like shrimp. The vegetarians.
Oh, I love meat. Like, if I had it my way, like if you gave me a factory grown steak that was like bloody and cold, oh yeah. Being a bleeding heart and like feeling bad about it. I don't remember what the like inciting moment was, but like definitely like being uncomfortable around like videos of slaughterhouses and like the concept of like where that food is coming from. It's like I get that, like, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's a mix, because on the one hand, like, there's a lot of aspects of society that, like, not everybody engages with, like, you know, not everyone would be comfortable with even, like, being on power lines or whatever, like, you don't have to be comfortable with every aspect of where your life comes from, but, like, I guess a combination of like, being so deeply horrified of death myself, and, like, at the time, honestly, and, and just being like, yeah, no, this isn't for me, and I don't have to do it, and having a supportive friend group. I feel like so much of it's like having friends that are already vegetarian. It's like, oh, you can do this, you can do this, and like, I tell you, I probably should eat meat. My doctors tell me to eat meat, but I'm never gonna do it. Probably like 7, 8 years with cheating in there though, like for sure. I'm not gonna be like, I've never touched meat. Like
29 years, no cheating.
You?
No, I ate lamb once on accident.
Oh, baby.
How did you eat lamb by accident?
I was in Albania, and I was very hungry. There was nothing there I could eat.
So you do
Well, we ordered like a eggplant thing, and it was like, I was like, oh, this kind of tastes like Morningstar sausages, and then I was like, oh, and then I was like, maybe I should eat it, I'm so hungry, and then I was like, no, I can't. So, that and like 2 beef burritos from Taco Bell, 1 bite. That's
I
it.
love Taco Bell.
This is why I claim flexitarian, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose. If you have a clam one time, you lose all your street cred.
I had no seafood. Not involved.
No, I'm talking about myself. I'm about to eat the clam.
Oh, you're about. Oh,
Yeah.
I wanna try.
I'm serious.
My parents were both vegan when I was born.
That's really awesome.
And then mom and my dad were vegetarian. When I was 18, my mom started changed her diet for like health things, and like now she has a freezer chest that has a cow in it, but like from a farm that was raised well. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's all this. We lost a clam.
It's not ready.
Yeah, no, I mean like, and like raised before the, you know, every faux meat fad.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, oh, you actually just have to cook a bean or a grain or a
Crunchy.
vegetable, you know? It's not like all like, try to sub it with meat.
I mean, that's the way
So-
to do it. The like to just eat like quinoa and like lentils and like.
Yeah, just eat normal whole food.
Right.
No, and it's not.
I mean,
it's a lot of gluten.
Yeah, gluten. Well, like what
Which
is
is
it?
not great.
It's like, I mean, gluten. A lot of it's mycoprotein at this point.
Hey,
like,
get out of there.
Tempeh's pretty decent, right? It's just fermented soy.
Depending on how you feel about like soy and estrogen.
I'm trying
Like
to
I
get
like
some,
tempeh, but yeah, depending, you know.
I want some titties.
The soy isn't vegetarian?
No, just like some people are worried about the. I don't know. Is it all soy or is it a certain like bad type of soy?
There
like
was a
increases
soy
your
hating
estrogen.
phase.
So.
People were very anti-soy for
But
a
it's
while.
like soy milk, soy tofu, soy
But
food.
it's-
It's more about
It was
exactly.
more the same thing with almond milk and stuff. If you're consuming it in multiple forms a day, then you're getting way too much soy. You're not meant to.
But
consume
like,
those quantities.
yeah, but in
Well,
the,
occasional tempeh.
well, but also like the whole like too much soy thing. Like there's the whole like whatever the threat of like the soy boy or whatever, and like that it'll like I mean it can mess with your hormones if you have like if you're prone to like ovarian cysts or like you're prone to certain cancers. But yeah, you'd have to be eating a pretty buck wild amount of soy products to get into. Yeah. I mean, if anything's doing that, it's the milk, like the milky milk.
I haven't had real milk in like a decade. Oh.
You like enoki mushrooms?
Wait, but no,
As we're
that
talking
will
about the
help them.
vegetarian.
That's gonna ruin things for Willow. You don't like them?
No, I love them.
Oh,
but I still love them.
vegetarian stuff out of beef broth?
I just ate the only shrimp. I can put a shrimp in. Well, no, it's fine.
We can wait.
No,
we can wait.
go
We'll
for it,
wait
go
until
for it.
you're
No,
done.
no,
Now
no.
we'll come back.
I ate 1 shrimp.
We're waiting.
Daniel, where'd you get the clam from?
This.
Give me a clam.
Yes, ma'am.
Try this tofu. We'll just wait it out a little bit longer.
Yeah.
As long no, I get a clam, I'm good. Y'all go for it.
You want one of these fish balls, Willow? You sure?
Absolutely.
Full of fish.
Actually, that's beef.
Gotcha.
Unless they're like the yellow pink ones.
Oh, these guys?
Yeah, those are just, that's lobster or crab.
No, I really want to see the meat that I'm eating, like, I don't want a popcorn shrimp. I want to see the shrimp.
You know what those
I don't
are?
want
You're
a
wild.
disguised meat.
You're wild for that, man.
I know.
Do you
So
know
that
what
is
these
like,
are?
no way.
Oh, that right there, it's a sea monkey.
That is just fish cake. There's nothing inside of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up?
So I think the pink swirly one, that's like either lobster or crab. But the yellow ones are just fish cake.
Hey, Dan, since you're closer to, could you throw some bok choy in my hot pot inside?
In the flesh pot.
In
Is
the
there
flesh
more?
pot.
Is there more sauce? Can you hook me up with some sauce?
Don't they?
Ah, yeah. Ooh, ah, ooh, yeah.
Oh, actually, can I get in there?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
This way?
The reconfiguration of the hot pot table.
What did I step on?
I am. So my friend Annalise actually.
I know it.
Part of the chair?
Right. Well, I didn't say like you don't know Annalise.
But she is still.
But the audience might not. Yeah.
That's true.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I stole this thing from a chair.
A radish.
Oh, but
That appears to be a radish.
Is it
Yeah.
cooked though?
Oh, is it
Should I
soft?
sit on this?
I
Oh,
think
okay.
it's all the way soft.
Oh, so should I go
Some
this
more
way?
rad daddies in there. I'm saying,
Get
dude,
some raddies in there.
these icons are gonna take a minute. You guys gonna be all like, oh, damn, don't put anything in the pot.
Tell me when there's a daikon ready for me and give it to me. Please.
That
Pretty,
tofu was
pretty.
really good.
The fried one?
Uh-huh.
The tofu, right? The fried tofu. Have you ever tried like stinky tofu before?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yo, one of my roommates was just hyped on this, and I really need to try it.
It's so good.
What is it?
It's like it's fried tofu, but it's like fermented. And then it's like the sauce, you have to put on it.
I'll,
It smells really bad. But
Sticky
Okay.
tofu. It smells like garbage. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Where
find the
can I
plug.
find it?
The-
I haven't found any good ones for it.
It's
There's one in Duluth in this Chinese grocery store called Just Go. It's like a Taiwanese snack shop that sells stinky tofu. It's fucking stinky.
do they have it at Great Wall?
I think so, yeah. You just gotta go to the Taiwanese spot and ask for a stinky tofu. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Duluth is like where it's at with like Asian groceries, like all kinds of Asian stuff. If you guys ever make it up there.
Oh, for sure. I finally made it to Super H Mart
Wow.
after being here for like 7 years.
Damn. What'd you get?
See, we went to the food court. Someone in the crew got the fried cheese on a stick, which is completely insane. I can't believe that that's like a thing.
Oh, the hot dog thing?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's like a hot dog and cheese. on
Yeah,
it.
that shit is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's like
What kind of cheese?
a stringy, closer to like a mozzarella, but it's like a hot dog covered in mozzarella that's breaded and then fried.
Okay.
It's like a street food thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always get hella mochi whenever I end up at like H Mart or Beaufort Highway or anything.
I go kitchenware.
Oh
Has some
yeah.
Good pots.
Yup.
Good
Yep.
strainers.
I spend way too much money on
You know the-
food
the-
and stuff like that.
Like the alien saucer strainers, the ones that like collapse into each other.
Oh yeah, those are for dumplings.
Yeah, well, we use them for other stuff.
First Oriental Market is tight for that. We got such sharp knives and big ass bowls.
I'm just supposed to eat this, yeah?
The clam?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's fragile
Oh,
little
Pete
body.
says hi, everybody.
Hi, Pete.
Whoa!
Where do we see the content?
Pete used to be
Oh,
how'd
Pete
you
a
see
triple
that?
plumber. Oh, let's see, I could read.
Oh, I see.
It's on the right.
Wow. No, I see it. I just can't read it.
The triple.
Stop
Oh,
spamming
and-
the chat.
Oh, and Ed. Hi, Ed.
The triple plumber kids were at our studios for a while.
Yeah, that's
They had a cool setup too.
yeah,
with all the green screen.
that's Pete and Ed.
Yeah.
Pete
And Grant, right?
and Grant. Yeah. No, they're triple plumber's just Ed.
What's up, Ed? Thanks for commenting, everybody. What's up, Pete?
Ed Ederson.
Shout out to Pete though. He was a great co-host on my last episode. Funny as fuck. The cool winners are not funny. That was pretty Pete.
Blow it up.
I have a cool winner sticker on my laptop.
So like,
Hell yeah,
what about
I love cool
napkins and
winners.
napkins?
And I have a bakery. I mean, I like sometimes take it out,
Gotta
but
keep it ATL, baby.
Those are vintage now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Now that you guys have gotten comfortable with the hot pot, seems like you guys are enjoying it. It's,
Very
makes
happy.
Me, makes me really happy.
Covering over all of
And this is probably the most anyone had eaten when I was here.
What? I've been waiting all day for this. I've been so excited.
I actually had a pretty big meal before this. Yeah, like
What if it's a bottomless pit?
2 eggs today.
Most of the time, people are pretty hesitant, but once like they see Alice like pigging out, they're like, "Oh, okay, that."
We're not hesitant.
You're gonna grill us?
Yeah, in a little bit, probably in like 5 minutes, I'm gonna.
Kill that 200 hertz there, backseat bull.
We're gonna move on to a segment called Hot Pot Hot Seat. I'm gonna give the spotlight on each individual one of you guys. I'm gonna ask you some hard-hitting questions as well as some silly questions. See what you guys say.
Hell yeah, brother.
Actually, you know, I don't want to reach over.
What do you
Oh,
want?
reach over,
Reach
reach
over
over.
some, no, actually the box joint.
Let's drink. Yeah, you only take out, you don't put in, remember?
Well, I don't want to.
I'm removing and removing and dropping.
Yeah, you don't like
yeah,
it?
yeah, no, I like it. That was a good.
Dude,
sound.
that
was a good.
That Gakaikin is not good sake, but man, you can get a whole lot of it for cheap.
Big bottle.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
And you can get it at Kroger.
Did you bring that?
Size of a baby.
What?
Yeah.
Did you bring that?
Yeah.
I was really
I have a
upset.
drinking problem.
I was really upset
It's
that
working
I
out for
didn't
us.
provide, but
Could I actually
you
get
got
some
me.
sausage?
More?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being an adult.
Of course, yeah. Does this make you an adult?
I love you dearly and thank you for being an adult.
I don't think this makes you an adult. I think this makes you a
Don't argue with
professional
me.
child.
Honestly, on my way here, I was like, I really hope there's some sake. And then there is sake, but don't let me pour it again. That I did not do a good job.
Yeah, we're gonna dead this bottle hella quick. Would you like some?
How old were you guys?
We need,
Oh, yeah,
we need a
I'll
glass. Would you need a little cup of
14?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, something
I got
around
2.
14 when you started what?
drinking.
Oh, thank you.
Anybody else need more sauce?
Why not?
Thanks a lot.
How old were y'all
What?
when you started drinking?
Oh, I was a goody two shoes.
That's why you're such a nightmare as an adult.
Exactly. No, I'm not the nightmare. I'm a sweet baby boy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't start drinking.
I forgot what you said 2 seconds ago.
No, I'm a red flag, but I'm a sweet man. I didn't start drinking until after I was 21.
Wow.
And
That's crazy.
The first time I got drunk almost killed me. It was off of raspberry vodka.
Who are you?
Yeah, that's bad stuff. It was I'm the night. It was raspberry vodka and it was I believe it was Smirnoff. I don't even remember.
That's what my first drink was. I got fucked up on Smirnoff.
But it was the summer. Very importantly, it was the summer, and the place that I crashed out at was a basement room with no windows. So like I woke up at like 1 in the afternoon with the first hangover of my life. Oh, dude, I got after it. Well, because the point was like, okay, we're doing the thing. The point was like we're going to get drunk, and like we're
At 21?
yeah, for me.
This is why I think.
What happened on your 21st birthday? Is this what happened?
No, it was near, but like a lot of it's a haze. But yes, I woke up in this windowless room. Everyone else had been drinking it. It was like new for me. It was like we're gonna get Daniel drunk, and we have this safe environment for Daniel to get drunk. And so I woke up at like 1 in the afternoon in this windowless, pitch black room, and I was like, oh, tight, cool. Like I'm a little foggy, my head hurts. I didn't have the like mental like, oh, I am hungover like narrative. And I opened the door to like the main hallway. And was just blasted with like Georgia 95-degree bright sun, like 100% humidity, like 1 in the afternoon Georgia summer from pitch blackness with my first hangover, and I almost died right there. That was all. That was I think my first brush with death.
Yo, alcohol sucks, man.
Honestly, who?
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Hey. Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, damn. And I think the first time I got high was a Bonnaroo off record, because that didn't happen. This is all in parody.
The first time you had a nice time in the woods, what happened?
First time I had the first time I had a nice time with the trees was at Bonnaroo, and I faded out.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine you at Bonnaroo.
Dude, it was sick. But I stopped existing at about 11:30 and started existing again at about 3:30 in the morning.
Oh jeez.
And I was at the Spongel DJ set. Everyone's familiar with the artist Spongel. And,
Nope, not familiar.
I was having a grand old time, and a dude walked up.
Spongling.
I was spongling hard, dude. I was completely schwarped up, and
Schwarped up? What the fuck does that mean?
dude, it's gonna be big.
Oh man.
We need a buzzer sound.
I'd like to shout out bakery graphic character Grumpy. It looks like you guys are eating on Grumpy's head.
Shout out to
Grumpy.
Tati, we miss you.
Tati, wish you were here.
But yeah, one dude tried to put a Vicks Vapor Rub on my body, and a dude tried to put Vicks Vapor Rub on my body at 3:30. So at the time, I had a panic moment because I was still a delicate little child and was having my first brush with being a bad boy. So I thought he was like trying to put like acid all over my body. And then I had that moment that everyone has when they're like a real adult. It's like people don't just give away drugs because drugs are expensive, and there's no way this dude was just trying to give me like a lot of acid. He was just wanted it to feel good when he put Vicks Vapor Rub on my body.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Still.
What does Vicks Vapor Rub feel like? Is it like a cooling sensation?
Girl, have you never put Vicks Vapor Rub on?
Wow.
It's like
You're not living.
It's like an effervescent mentholy, like that moment where you're like
Tiger Balm?
Like Tiger Balm. You're like, if you put it on your chest, your like nostrils open, and it's like a relaxing, cooling, like the cold half of icy hot.
Your feet kind of lift off the ground a little bit. Do y'all use Vicks? Is that a product they sell here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like
They
that.
put it.
That's the main one.
They put it on my foot when I
Okay.
broke my foot in Mexico, and I remember I was like, it was like the dumbest fall because I was so like heat exhausted from like just not wearing a hat. So when I
Are
saw,
you talking about when you had that like rare fever that killed you?
dengue, that was also the same.
You got
thing.
dengue?
I got dengue in Mexico. Yeah.
What the hell, dude?
Now if he gets it again, he'll like die.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get a vaccine in where they actually like regularly get dengue. Because yeah, no, it can be very serious. Like,
it is really serious.
Yeah. But the dengue was afterwards. I broke my foot like in the first day of the trip because I was like really exhausted from the heat and I didn't have a hat. We were like biking through the ruins and I saw a hat rack and I was like, that's where I get a hat. And I'm on the bike, but then I don't like brake. I just go straight into the hat rack. And I fall over and I actually break my foot in these
That's why
sandals.
desire is the root of all evil.
Yeah, no, seriously, yeah. I felt like I was like, feeling some kind of death drive. And after like I got up, I like couldn't stand and I was like very hot and about to pass out. And so a very nice store owner, she massaged my foot with vapor rub. And then I remember, and I was lying there and there was like these like tiki masks, you know, that they were selling in the gift store, and one of them was the Atlanta Falcons. So I just like put it on my face to block out the sun. And then like when they were done, I was like, it's not too bad, right? It doesn't look that bad. And she was like, oh. She's like, muy mal. I was like, no. And then my foot was broken for like a good number of months. I ran away from cops on that foot. Yeah, it was like, yeah, well, it had like already almost healed, and like I was like taking photos, and at the time, you couldn't wear masks to protest because of the whole, is it the KKK law?
No, I don't know about this.
I think it's like an anti-mask law.
When?
That was like before, it was like a climate protest or something before.
Like 2019?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was taking photos and I had a mask on and they tried to arrest me and I had to like, and I was like surprised them by running away really quickly.
What do you mean?
Put the beef in.
I want to put the beef
Put the beef in.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, put the beef in.
You sure?
I tried.
Earlier, I know you tried, but
I tried two things I've already tried. They're not even new things. And I'm good.
Alright.
So for egg, are we crack dropping egg or are we boil egg and shell egg?
Whatever you want.
No, egg.
Oh no,
Egg
no!
is
Do not put
honorary.
the shell in the hot pot.
So do not put the shell in the hot pot?
Crack it in there. Crack it in there. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wait on this one. This is gonna be a special moment when it comes.
Ceremonial egg cracking.
Absolutely, baby. Let them know.
There it is, Max.
Lev, I put beef in if you're interested.
Okay.
Oh.
Dude, we got the meats, dog. Arby's.
It's hot.
Hot, hot, hot.
Hot, hot, hot.
Hot, hot, hot. Some more mushrooms.
You gotta do that.
Yeah. Mushrooms are good.
Y'all like that Doro Hedoro show?
What?
Damn, do y'all not watch anime? Am I the only real nerd at this table?
Yeah, I don't
You
watch
know
anime.
I watch anime. I just don't watch things.
Yeah, you watch Gundam because you're a Chad.
Because I
but
fucking love Gundam and I watched the other show you told me to watch, but it made me so depressed.
Code Geass, absolutely, baby. Wait, Alice, have you seen Dora Hedora?
Yes.
Dude, okay, like after I think In, like so the main antagonist of Dora Hedora's name is In, and he has magical powers where he can turn things into mushrooms and grow mushrooms. I think he single-handedly, as a character, has like mushroom pilled me in a way that like I now like have to try and grow mushrooms, and then that's all. I just can't believe you
That's all.
words. In's a very compelling antagonist. Y'all should watch Dora Hedora.
Send it to me and I'll get on it.
It's on Netflix. I don't have to send you shit.
I love the style of that show too.
I hated it when I first saw it, but I grew into it. Like the CGI, like because it's the same as the Berserk 1996 that everyone hated. The super flat CGI, but like somehow it works for that one. I don't know. Well, the good Berserk is good, but the bad Berserk is bad. I don't know how else to put it. There's the one that's animated well and the one that's animated like dookie.
Are they different eras or just like different studios?
They're different times, they're different studios, but they're both pre-Golden Arc, and we need a post-Golden Arc adaptation of Berserk that is hand-drawn and non-CGI, otherwise someone's gonna riot in the memory of Kentaro Miura. R.I.P. He just passed away.
Just testing out the hot seat Nelward.
Oh, hi.
You okay?
Oh shit, Lev, are you okay?
Lev didn't know that Kentaro Miura passed away, and it just really broke his heart.
Be careful, guys.
Hot, large broccoli, hot, large.
Oh yeah, that broccoli is dangerous.
I just swallowed my whole sardine. It was way too hot.
It's like the broccoli. It's like a Berlin sponge.
Fish cake got me.
So it's not
hard
all that
inside
weird.
the exterior. Damn, we've been eating for a minute.
Yeah.
Who's telling?
Yeah, you guys are killing it.
If y'all are watching online, I'm sorry. We've just been eating.
We're hungry.
What's Nelly eating?
So what's Nelly eating?
The artist, the R&B artist with or Nelward.
The thong song Nelly.
You're talking about me?
Are you Nelly?
Yeah, some people call me Nelly. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't know who Nelly was.
Wait, so you were actually
That's
talking
Nelward.
about like Nelly, like
No, I'm talking about Nelwood Nelly.
not Band-Aid.
Nelly's not actively eating.
Dude, Nelly, wherever Nelly is, Nelly's eating for sure.
Oh yeah, the beef.
Yeah, you like it,
huh?
You want me to put
Dude,
more in?
if they let me eat beef, I could take over the world.
I was vegetarian for a little while, but I gave it.
I mean, honestly, like it's very hard. I would probably be a healthier and happier person if I ate meat, but I would also be a healthier and happier person if I was an adult about being vegetarian and ate like good vegetarian food.
Yeah, I just found that it was when I started traveling, like the only things I could order had so much cheese on it. So like, I don't know. In most places, like if it doesn't have meat on it, it just has tons of cheese and just eat tons of cheese.
I think that's
Right.
the solution
Like
to make it
pizza?
edible.
Yeah, that's the solution.
To get the protein.
Make it appealing or something.
Well, and it depends on like where you're like. I mean, so much of rural America is so meat. I mean, so much of the world's cuisine is so
Yeah,
meat
so
based.
meat oriented. So it's like everywhere I went, I was like, well.
I feel like a lot of other cultures have a lot of veggie dishes, even if they're not
I mean,
surrounded by,
Indian food is the
We got a
like.
lot of veggie dishes.
Well, yeah, Mediterranean, but then when you go other places.
But even a lot of Mediterranean food has
Spain, I couldn't eat anything there.
Yeah, Spain. They're like, oh, do you like?
You want ham, eggs, and fish in a casserole with mayonnaise?
Yeah, like we.
No, I do not. No, thank you.
We stuffed a boar with suckling pig. Here's
Yeah,
here's your
right.
lunch.
Yeah, fish. It'd be best if you're pescatarian in the Mediterranean, but we do have just vegetable dishes.
No, Greece is way better than Spain, like in terms
Yeah,
of
but
what I can
Spain
eat.
and
They like
France,
share meat. They
it's
love
like get
cake
fucked.
in Spain.
There's not a lot of vegetarian options at all.
Spain and France both are super meat-centric cultures.
Same with Ukraine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of.
Oh yeah, when I was in near Balkans, Eastern Europe, that was rough. That's why I ate the lamb. I was just starving. They gave me hot yogurt soup, as if that was an item I should eat with stale bread. That was the best vegetarian food that I encountered. In Albania.
My cousin raises cows in Ukraine, and he has I met the cows, very sweet, and he said it was really sad to put them up to slaughter because he's like each one of them has a personality, and he said you could tell each of them apart by the way their breath smells.
But so like to me that would like make me more of a vegetarian.
Well, yeah. Emotional connection with the animal.
Yeah, like that would.
Sure.
Based on their like breath.
Yeah.
Not just like a marking on their body. Yeah.
But then I guess the other side of that, it was just like a more like rural community.
Oh yeah. My grandmother's in the middle of nowhere.
Right. So like, it's like access to food is also like harder. Like you like have to eat meat to like not die. Presumably.
Actually, I mean, it kind of depends, right? Because like the supply chain of everything, like there's cheap everything, but at the same time, like my grandmother raises geese,
right?
And like when my dad grew up, it's like everybody eats meat, but meat is also like not like the most common thing because it takes time to raise an animal. You don't just like casually like have meat on your plate.
Yeah, so I
It was
guess
for
only.
special occasions back in the day.
Well, but only to say that like it's not like you're not eating like a full pound hamburger every meal, but like it is objectively like a very nutrient dense food. And so like if you don't have access to like other nutrient dense foods, it's the thing that you should eat to like be healthy. That you do have access to. That there's like animal husbandry is like baked into the culture.
Do you take B12? You really
yes, I think it's in my multivitamin.
should. You really should take B12 while it's on.
Dude,
It's like the main thing you don't get by being vegetarian.
B12.
Ooh! I pulled out a whole piece of ginger, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that too.
Zingiber efficient
like
now.
It's part of the sauce,
It's so good.
right? It's like it's so connected.
Dude, ginger's crazy. Have you ever seen a ginger like grow?
It's really pretty.
It's completely batshit insane.
It's also invasive.
I guess because it's a tuber.
Yeah, tubers are by nature gonna just take over your garden.
Are you a fun guy?
Are you a friend or foe?
Is Korea, is the climate in Korea any similar to like the southeast of the states?
I mean, Southeast, not really. I'd say more. I feel like Korea is very seasonal because they have the seasons are very set. There's the summer, there's the spring, there's the fall, there's the winter. So I kind of feel like more New York.
Really interesting.
Like you have that cold
like
winters.
Like the winters, you'll get like inches of snow. But the summer is very, very hot. It's a peninsula. It's very tiny.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not a lot of landmass to retain temperature.
Is the climate in Japan very different from South Korea?
It's basically the same.
Because I've heard the reason bamboo and kudzu are so prevalent and so big is Georgia, because the climate here is different.
Well, that's China, I think.
Georgia is actually a lot.
If I wanted to get water, where would I go?
There's very lots of Georgia.
The kitchen?
So I think the only thing that you do
Trying to play.
is similar is the winter. Thank you. We never really have like a winter here. I've never really felt like it was winter.
Yeah, it's so sick. I hate winter.
But I do agree. A lot of Asians come here because it is very similar to Korea and nature-wise, all that stuff.
But like I mean like kudzu, privet, like those are both Chinese imports, right? Or am I wrong?
I actually don't know if kudzu is.
I thought the kudzu was, but I could be wrong. But no, that has been my understanding. But also, there's been a lot of wrong understandings for.
I think generally that region. I don't know if it's China.
For sure. Well, privet is. Damn it.
So I think it's a good time to go on with our next segment. It's called Hot Pot Hot Seat, where I ask individually a silly question as well as a super serious question. We're trying to get pretty deep here on Hot Pot Talk. Hope you guys are ready.
We're
Oh
ready.
yeah.
We love it.
I don't know how else to be, baby.
Yeah, you.
Ready.
Yeah, the reason I
whisper,
asked you guys
What?
on,
The whisper.
I really want to get down to the nitty gritty of how the bakery was formed to begin with, how it's run today, and like I would like to go around the room and see what each of you guys do individually as a role for the bakery.
Sure.
So first up will be, well, let's get her on the screen out first. It'll be Willow. Welcome to Hot Pot Hot Seat. Hot Seat.
Hot Seat.
Willow hot seat.
And I'm eating.
Hot Seat. So I'm going to ask you a silly question and a serious question.
Hot.
Oh my god.
Well, first of all,
I am, but I don't sweat. So I am in my own way.
Willow,
Yes.
how did you get started with the bakery? You're a co-founder, correct?
Me and my mom, yes.
You and your mom.
I mean, mostly my mother let me have a ridiculous idea and didn't tell me no.
Whoa.
So bless her heart.
What's your mom's name?
Olive.
Olive.
Shout out to Olive.
Wow, yeah. I had no idea. That's so cool. So your mom had a pretty good taste in art and music while you were growing up. Is that true?
Yeah. My mom was she had me pretty young at 24. She was an activist, an environmental activist in Atlanta. She went to Atlanta College of Art.
Cool. Nice.
She, is a non-practicing, somewhat practicing artist. Dated musicians when I was growing up, and
cool.
I think I was at the Claremont Lounge when I was like 6 years old. I'm pretty
Wow.
sure. Yeah.
So you your mom brought you to like DIY shows when you were super little, like as a kid and stuff like that?
I just did, what she did.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, even now, I would have an 11-year-old. So like, if I was here right now as my mother,
wow,
there would be an 11-year-old
Yeah.
here. Yeah. So just hung out.
That's so cool. I feel like I've lived a pretty sheltered life in terms of me being from Duluth. There wasn't that much art or any like outlet for me to like get my emotions out and stuff. So I didn't get to partake in any sort of scene up until I got to Athens when I like played music and stuff like that. So it's really interesting to see like how early you started partaking in that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So,
like the whole way. I mean, I was like born, after I was born, like my dad lived at the land trust, and I think I was like, we lived in a tent for 8 months in North Georgia.
Oh, wow.
There's
Check tree.
no.
Mom told me while I was on the ride. She said they built a platform that took a lot of time, and then as soon as they finished, they realized that tree was covered in ticks.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, I was like allowed to take mental health days as a 4th grader.
Yeah.
Like I always had like handwritten notes. I was like, Willow will be taking a mental health day today. I was like, yes, I will be, from building fairy houses, because that's what I did at elementary school. So.
That's so cool. So ahead of your time. We definitely didn't have that in the suburbs of Duluth. So the original building of the bakery, if you don't mind me asking, like how many buildings were you looking at initially to move in to start out with the bakery?
That's a great question. I am sweating. It's dripping.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. Yeah.
It's like a sweat
You're in the
lodge.
hot seat.
I know, it's happening. It's happening. That's a really good question. People have asked me that a lot. Like, what caused you to make it in this part of town? What caused like all these things? And there's really more reactionary than that.
Yeah.
I drove by this crazy looking building. Thank you. And there was like fires outside, and I was like, oh. I mean, I had been doing arts and activism in New York, and so when I moved back to Atlanta,
you were itching to get into some sort of business.
I was like, what am I gonna do with my life, kind of, and so like just like. I was actually driving around looking for a place to live, and me and my mom drove by this building, and I was like, oh, that's a really cool building. And then many circumstances, serendipitous interactions later, I met one of the landlords of the building. Okay. Found out that the people who were there were no longer going to be there, and pursued.
What was it before?
Kaleidoscape.
Kaleidoscape. Okay.
Yes, it was a. It had been art spaces in 3 iterations under different tenant collectives.
Okay, so it's been a subliminal space for a while before the bakery. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I remember moving to Atlanta and just going to the bakery all the time for shows. It was I was always really enamored with the space and who ran it and stuff like that. Now I know who ran it, and in the flesh, baby. Alice, you got any questions for Willow?
Well, I do really like this question Max gave me. It's kind of off the chart. But would you rather have a vagina on your forehead or penises down your back like a stegosaurus?
Ooh.
It's hard, right?
Okay, I'm gonna think about logistics. So like, if these penises need to have stimulation, you're gonna have to be like.
Are they all functional? That's a
are they
huge question.
functional? Are they functional? Do they need pleasure?
That's up to you. They can have pleasure, they don't have to have pleasure. But
I think aesthetically, I think I would go for the, I don't know. Like a third eye up here would be pretty cool.
That would be good. It just sucks everything in.
But
the Stegosaurus, that's pretty cool too.
Where does your brain go? Because I'm just thinking.
It has to divide.
Well, but you got sinuses under your eyes, right? So you could also have like a sinus cavity that goes like behind your forehead vagina that goes to your brain ovaries.
Well, this is like the question. Brain ovaries.
Now this is a
Or your
clear
cerebellum.
answer to me.
What's the clear answer?
I want to get fucked in my third eye.
but then you have to menstruate from your forehead.
Oh, that's kind of cool though. Like,
yeah, blood coming down my face.
Asking the tough questions on Hot Pot Talk Wall.
Very Possession 1981 vibes.
Well, like, people don't have to question if that's the time of the month for me. You know, I'm like making a statement, walking into a room.
So does your
not fuck with her?
But does your head period and your lower period sync? Or which one's
Oh
the
God,
which,
you have double
What-
period. Assume you only have
Which
one.
one's your
It's
alpha?
really one. It's just like, you know,
No, is it-
flowing from multiple locations. Yeah.
Wait, oh, so they're like connected
But he's asking if
pathways.
they sync. Because what if you had one and then you had the other?
They better sync.
Yeah, right.
Trying to do this twice.
So in animal experiments with rats, for anyone watching that is watching, I have an undergraduate degree in neuroscience. In
Wait,
rats.
do you have a degree?
You didn't know that?
I thought you switched from neuroscience and got your business.
No, I have a dual undergraduate degrry in neuroscience and music business. Recognize the game. I graduated magna cum laude from UGA with a 3.96.
I was in the music business program for like a semester.
But yeah,
So you took a class.
Yeah.
But rats menstrual
changed my
cycles.
major also.
Hey, I want to interrupt. We're getting a little sidetracked. This is a Hot Pot Hot Seat Willow still.
Oh,
Let's
right.
ask questions.
You don't want to talk
for
about
Willow.
menstrual cycles?
I mean, we're gonna go around the table and we're gonna get to you eventually. But Daniel, let's focus on Willow.
Okay,
now,
I'm sold on the vagina on the forehead.
You're sold on the vagina on the forehead.
I don't want a
Okay.
bunch of penises behind me. That sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
Too much work.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Oof. In terms of other than the penises on the forehead, what other role are you do you have at the bakery at the moment right now?
What other role do I have at the bakery at the moment?
Yeah.
I think the best way to answer that is that the public sees the bakery as like a community space that throws events and does all these things, but the behind the scenes is like accounting, legal, financial, bank accounts, credit cards, like begging for money, figuring out how to manage debt. Like it's all this other shit that has nothing to do with the front end.
Yeah.
So like I'm the back end, and now Amanda is, thank the everything universe, that she is coming back as the assistant director.
Oh,
and she
okay.
is going to handle the front end of the bakery, so I can do the back end because that's what your business degree gives you to do.
Yeah. It's a lot to do with delegating for sure.
It's like two different minds too. It's the creative mind forward, but it's the business mind backwards, and switching between both is like kind of impossiple. I did it for 3 years back poorly, and I'm over it.
Let me ask you this: what is there an HR department at the bakery?
Ah.
What happens? What happens when a conflict arises?
I'm the HR.
Okay.
She is definitely not the HR. She is the problem. I think Amanda can speak to that a little bit, but I mean, we had, Maggie Kane set up a code of conduct that had been used in other spaces that were similar to ours.
Yeah.
We have definitely dealt with some things. Luckily, nothing super like things that were publicly problematic, but nothing like actually super serious.
Help me.
No, that is like there are a lot of things that go into running community space that people want you to do, and you don't have an HR department, you don't have a legal department, you don't have a this, you don't have a that, so it's literally just us and some other people making it up.
Yep.
I mean, internally, my mom is definitely like a peacemaker and took care of people, but for the public-facing stuff, I would say it was a lot of Amanda and...
Well, and it's very mutual.
I think so. It just like would depend on the issue, but some of them were so small it was normally just handled with like whoever it made sense to handle the problem.
That's a good time to
Yeah.
pass the seat off to Amanda, Hot Seat or Hot Talk Vlog. Amanda, you're the assistant director of the bakery. What responsibilities does that entail, and where do you see yourself in this position in like a year from now? Just a year.
That's a giant question.
Yep. Giant question for Hot Talk
I
Vlog.
want to preface the question with my title. Willow and I just made that up 3 days ago.
It looks good. It looks good.
Because I just quit my 9 to 5.
Oh, really? What were you doing?
Fuck a job! Fuck a job!
What were you doing before?
So before, I'm still there. You know, I gave
okay.
notice, but for the past year, I've been working at New Georgia Project, which is like a big civic engagement nonprofit, and I've been working like on a lot of creative and cultural projects there.
So it was a natural progression for you to
Yeah.
go to the bakery.
Well, I've been with the bakery for 5 years.
For 5 years, okay.
Since it started, I started as a volunteer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It was, did you just answer one of the flyers whenever the bakery was asking for volunteers?
No, I got involved in a really weird way. So
How did that involve?
Zinnia, actually, who I met through other friends.
Nefarious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I met Zinnia in 2017, and we became friends. And then I helped her move because I'm a good friend.
Of course.
And I was helping her move. She was like, "Oh yeah, I'm moving to Adair Park," which is like, and I at the time lived in the West End, and she was like, "There's an art space down the street that's about to open.
Yeah.
You should come. I think you'll really like it." And so I came to opening day. That was the first time I went there. Was
You were
OG Bake
there
Bash.
at the opening day of the
Yeah.
bakery. Wow, that's crazy.
And
What
then
year
I
was
like,
that? What year was it?
2017.
2017.
October 7th. That's the
Cool.
bakery's birthday.
October 7th, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Heck
say,
yeah.
is it the 7th or the 8th? I always get
It's the
confused.
7th.
Thank you.
The 7th.
October
See?
7th.
Thank
yeah.
God.
Yeah, so then I came that first day, and I was like, this place is great. I'm from a really small town, so I'd never seen anything like the bakery.
What town?
And I was like,
What town are you
I
from?
need to do this, and I need to meet everyone. So I met everyone that day, and I
Yeah.
befriended everyone. And I
Nice.
was like, I'm gonna come back every day, and then I did, and here I am.
Tell them where you're
Wow.
from.
Where you from?
Where you from?
Yeah, where you from? Where you from?
Where you from?
I'm from a small town outside of Macon, Georgia, in the middle of Georgia, called Forsyth.
Forsyth?
Not the county, the
Forsyth.
city.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Who's
No.
got Baker's birthday?
It's the same birthday as my mom's.
Whoa.
Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to her mom.
It is also the same or very close to the same as my best friend who got married. The only wedding we did at the bakery was my best friend.
Wow, that was-
Exhausting. And I was in the wedding, I produced the wedding, I hosted the wedding, I was one of the best, whatever you called when you're good. And
Maid of honor.
Thank you, maid of honor. And yeah, and then they had a baby, same birthday as bakery.
Oh wow.
More like made of funner.
Got him. That's Kismet right there.
A fun honor.
Alice, what silly question do you have for Amanda?
Let's see.
Well, I guess these are serious questions here.
Oh, would you rather be a mood ring, like your whole body will change the color of what your mood is, or would you have your body tattooed with everything you did the day before? So every day you're tattooed.
Easy. I'm already a mood ring.
I was gonna say the same shit, dude.
And I have a terrible memory, so I would love to have everything tattooed on me.
Nice.
Easy question.
Nice.
So tattoos, you would go with a tattoo?
Oh yeah, I would go with tattoos.
Even if it's like full body, you're
Yes.
okay with that? Nice. You
Yeah.
don't have any tattoos, right? Do you have any
I
tattoos?
got a few,
You
yeah.
got a few? Nice.
Yeah.
She got some.
Amanda is our like calm, is our like sanity, is the highly functional
So
one.
professional.
I see that,
compared
yeah.
to all of the rest of
That
us.
doesn't mean that she's like, boring by any means. She just is sneaky.
She just gets the shit done.
Yeah.
Boss.
She's sneaky and effective.
Chaotic, organized.
Nice. What was your first tattoo?
My first one was I was 18 and I got this on my wrist, and it's a poem and a song lyric.
What is
because
it?
I was 18.
What is
so, it
Tell
says
'em.
it says "Body Electric," which is a Walt Whitman
Cool.
poem, and
Hell
also
yeah.
a Lana Del Rey lyric.
Nice.
Because I was 18.
It's okay. I have a Jack Kerouac quote tattoo.
Yeah.
So when I got it when I was 16. I was like, yeah, let's go hitchhike around America, man. But I kind of regret getting it.
Dude.
That's how it goes.
We did make my roll up. I meant the title up. But the roll's very real.
No, I think the title,
Yeah.
we have all made up
We've
titles
all
over
made
the
up
years.
titles.
Some of them I've negated, some of them have been accepted. Amanda's new title will be very correct.
I love. I was a sociology major. I love learning about like subcultures and like how it runs and stuff like that. Big fan of Canterbury Tales. Everybody has their own role and stuff like that. Achieve a common goal and stuff like that. I'm actually working on a script that's based on a music venue, and you guys remind me of it a lot. Just like everyone having like a sound guy and a booking person, and design and creativity. Yeah. Anyways, Amanda, thanks for coming on Hot Seat. Hope it wasn't too hot. Next up is Danielle DeSimone.
Let's go, baby.
Welcome to Hot Seat.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. You are the sound guy.
Yeah.
And the booker.
So I've done, I did booking as my own brand, which is and was Face of Knives, whose birthday is also almost the same as the bakery's. It's October 1st. I did some internal booking. I think my like big girl job title at the time was facility manager, facility supervisor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And hopefully probably will be again moving forward. So it's not just running sound, but also like venue build out management, like helping with calendar management, systems and best practices.
Google Calendar, baby.
Absolutely, dude.
Is that how you guys do your stuff? Is Google Calendar and Google Docs?
Oh,
Okay.
it's a nightmare. Yeah.
It's so sick, dude. I open my Google Calendar and it's just like a rainbow, like checkerboard of things. And it just like scratches some deep organizational itch down in my soul.
At Old Bakery, we had a different color calendar for every room in the building.
type of venue.
And
So
so
sick,
every week we would sit down and talk about what's coming up for the week, and it would be like purple, yellow, like because we booked like over 7 days.
I can't imagine
Love
like
spreadsheets,
I
dude.
can't imagine what
So it's
your
like this
calendar
thing
looks
has to be bumped forward an hour, this has to go later. Like we booked 5 things
This
this
is the
day.
side space, this is the main stage.
Yeah.
You know, different
Where do we put
colors
the
for different
That's crazy.
rooms.
Oh, we don't have any.
Who's staffed? Who needs to be staffed?
Anyone gonna get signage? No.
No, we'll make
The
it
door
cardboard
guy.
one day of.
So many text text streams.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that what it's called?
Already, baby.
Yeah, you guys are all on like text screens and stuff like that. Me coming from working at like Go Bar in Athens, where it's just one small ass room, and I was just like booking out of that. Like compared to what you guys do, is like David and Goliath. It's crazy. I commend you guys.
It's just doing that, but a bunch of people doing it at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody has to be on the same page and stuff like that.
A lot of teamwork.
Daniel, what bands are you in right now?
I'm currently only regularly in one. It's called Malevich. We're a like death metal / grindcore project.
Yep.
I fill in here and there with other projects, but that's the only one that's like mine. And honestly, I think that's about all that I can do.
Yeah, I remember you being in a bunch of bands at once in Athens.
Well, because it's Athens.
Yeah.
And it was great, but it was also, and it was a different time when you're in college. Everyone's schedules are synced up, and they were all like improvisational, like free noise jazz things that didn't require like negotiating with record labels or like maintaining international contacts. Or
Putting up offer sheets for artists and stuff like that.
Right, like it's just a very different game. It's crazy looking back because like I feel like my whole life has been this. Like I think my whole life changed in 2017. And now I look back and like think back as in me, it's like, oh yeah, I've just always like been in this world. And like no, like when I was in in Athens in 13, I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Me neither. Yeah.
Like I didn't book any shows. I like ended up on shows that like my bandmates knew people that booked. I didn't know anything about promotion. It's crazy how quick it happens.
Yeah, I had no idea how to be in a band when I was in Athens.
Yeah.
It was just basically just go where the wind blows me. You know?
Right, exactly. And it's crazy how much the intentionality can change. Like Athens kind of breeds this environment if it's like one big party, and there's almost like more in Atlanta, there's like the dangling carrot of like, you know, the ceiling is way higher, but Athens, it was this like really magical, but also sort of like suffocating mentality of like, no, like this is it. Like you are in your world, like, and it's only gonna ever go here, so you might as well like kick back, relax, and enjoy it.
And your genesis story with the bakery, how did you get involved with the bakery at first?
Willow.
Willow.
And iDrum. So when I moved to Atlanta,
My favorite story.
it's pretty, it's pretty cute.
It's really cute.
So I So this is like, I honestly don't know why this happened. Like, even looking back, like I think I blocked out a lot of years, but for some reason, I went to a show at iDrum, and I knew that I wanted to be involved in the music scene. Willow at the time was on the board of iDrum and was working an event at iDrum.
Was
that I
de
attended.
facto running the music program?
Oh yeah.
And I'd been in Atlanta for like not even a year, I don't think, at the time, and was like, oh, this place seems like it puts on cool stuff. And just walked up to the only adult-seeming person in the room, which happened to be Willow at the time, and was like, I want to be involved. And Willow was like, okay. And now here we are.
No. But
I mean,
my
there's a lot more.
My
but-
favorite part was that first he asked, he had a water bottle of some kind of plastic, and he said, hey, do y'all have recycling? And I was like, no, I personally try to recycle the cans, but nothing more than that, because you can like find someone probably, who will take the cans and get a little bit of cash for them. And instead of throwing it away, he put it in his backpack.
Aww.
And I was like, oh my God. And then there was like, the only place to talk in iDrum was like a back mop closet. So he was like, hey, I want to be involved. And I was like, walk with me. I'm in the mop closet. Let's talk.
Yeah, and then the South Downtown apocalypse occurred like within months of the bakery starting, and the rest is history.
The rest is history, baby. I remember working out at the door at Go Bar, and like late at night you would be at the door with me, and I would start cleaning up like the beer cans, and you would be like so nice, like asking me if I needed help or anything.
Hell yeah.
Like, I always remember that about Daniel.
Damn, thanks, homie. No, I mean, like, I definitely see you as like a fixture of my musical, like, growing up shit in Athens. Like, it was always like Dr. Wang's karaoke.
Yeah.
Or, like, that's an old one. Shouts out to Dr. Wang's karaoke.
Shout out to Dr. Wang's karaoke. That was a lot of fun to do, man.
Absolutely.
Does
It's
that
great.
have anything to do with your way?
Huh?
Does that have anything to do with your way?
My what?
Your Wang, your Max Wang, aren't you?
Oh, Max Wang, yeah, Dr. Wang. Yeah.
He's Dr.
Oh, okay.
He's Dr.
Yeah.
Wang.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought that you were like, is anything to do with his Wang? And I was like, if possibly that's the deep hot hitting question right there.
There was a famous karaoke guy named Dr. Fred in Athens. And
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
He's not dead. Dr. Fred's not dead. He's still alive. He just got married.
Right.
He just got married.
I'm so sorry.
Dude, on R.I.P. Dr. Fred, dude.
I'm sorry. I thought of
Dude,
a
that's
regular that used to go to Dr. Fred's who passed away.
I didn't say that.
That's an LIP,
No, you
dude.
didn't.
Live in peace, dog.
Oh, okay.
On R.I.P. I'm sorry, Dr. Fred.
Yeah, let it be known, Dr. Fred.
Long live Dr. Fred.
Long live Dr. Fred.
Oh my God, Amanda, will you pass me some sauce or Alice?
Yeah.
Alice, what do you have for
on
Daniel?
live stream.
Daniel,
hit me
let's
up.
see. I can't remember the question. Max sent some really good questions.
Oh yeah, let's
The
look
one
at
we
Max's
talked about
questions.
before was the what would you never book again, which I could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
I was trying to remember who were the boys. Remember the boys?
Oh, early days, the boys.
Yeah, they
that
kept
was like
referring
a
to
rave
himself.
hip hop.
I think that was before my time.
It was like
Oh,
a hip
yeah.
hop rave.
The boys,
crew,
the boys,
And the
so
guy
many
that was
drugs.
running in that had booked the show kept on referring to his boys.
I think I worked the bar at
For
that
the
show.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when we were still doing rentals before we had a talent buyer. Things were rough.
Rough. It was the
Rough.
early days. We were the bartenders.
Yeah, we talked about it a bit before. For me, it's definitely those goddamn fucking Estonians that try.
Yes,
to
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna
Wait,
say
what
that.
happened with the
I knew.
Estonians?
Can I tell the day part of the story?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
This is a
really
good one. This is
important.
like bakery canon.
This is this is like I will never forget this. I'm gonna be 100 years old telling this. So at the time, I was very like daytime face of bakery, and Daniel was very nighttime face, but would switch off depending on like what's going on in the programming. So it's daytime. It's like 3 or 4 o'clock, and this like group, maybe like 7 people, walk in. Estonian people walk in. And I'm like, hey y'all, what's up? And I talk to them and they're like, oh, we're playing here tonight. We're really early. We just wanted to come check out the space. And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And this happened like all the time. Touring bands
For
would
sure.
come up. I would say, hey, I would give them a tour of the space and like, give them Daniel's number. If I was chilling, I would let them chill. If I had to leave, I would be like, you gotta leave and come back.
Yeah.
And so that was one of those times. And it's very hard to like corral 7 people in a warehouse if they like don't want to be corralled.
Yep.
So I'm giving these people a tour. They're very weird right off the bat. And
Like
this-
creepy vibes?
like it's like no, like
They're a performance art troupe from Eastern Europe, so it's just like there's all sorts of just like it's a very different world, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
different expectations.
it's
etc.
like 6 dudes, 1 girl. Only the girls talking to me. No dudes talk to me. I'm talking to her, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe they don't speak English. I don't know, but like, only the girl talked to me. I gave him a tour of the space, and then I was like, and this is where y'all will be performing tonight. And I like showed them the garage, and then they like started asking me all these weird questions. They're like, this ladder, like, could we use that? And I was like, what? No. Like, and then they're like, what's this big space? And they walk into like the big hangar space, and they're like, can we use this? They're like pointing to like a dolly and like all this stuff, and I'm like, what? No. Like, you'll have to ask Daniel, but like, no. And then I tell Daniel like, hey, like and I tell Daniel like my experience with them happening, and also they just like all keep walking like into different rooms as I'm trying to talk to them.
Rude.
They just like all just walk away into different rooms, like exploring and like moving things, and I'm like, whoa, can you not do this?
Big faux pas.
Yeah, just like really like weird vibes right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
Did they even show up to perform, or were
Oh yeah.
So this
don't worry about it. Yeah,
the
okay.
daytime version.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I got somewhere to be at 5 o'clock. Like I have to lock up. You'll have to leave and come back when Daniel gets here. And I was like, I gotta come back because like, what are these guys gonna do? I gotta come see it, and I'm really glad I did. And we transitioned to the nighttime part of the story.
So this
Part
one,
two.
this is really conflicted in my mind, right? So like, when I showed up, they had like rigged a harness from the ceiling, which they didn't ask me about, and like I had no idea what our like weight limit for our ceiling was, and I was like, all right, y'all have to sign a release form if you're gonna do this. And then mid-performance, lit like aerosol flamethrowers like from the ceiling, like, spinning around in this room, like a wooden stage, like setting off fireworks, and like this whole thing that's like, dude, this is like billions of dollars of liability. We got into a screaming match. They told me that they would never come back here, and I informed them that they were correct.
They like wrapped the whole crowd in saran wrap.
But I feel like this is very emblematic of like my my own fracture with all this. Is like because all things considered, this is the show that I remember. And like, this is a show that people still talk about, and it's like artistically, it's still a very important show. And I have to think about the fact that like a lot of people that I would hate working with, like Marina Abramovich walked into a room that I was curating and was like, yeah, my partner and I are going to hold opposite ends of a bow and arrow and lean away from each other. I'd be like, fuck you in half. There's no way you're doing that. But like, that's one of the most iconic performance art pieces in history. And so like, I feel like that's like the most important one to me. One, because fuck them and I would never do it again, but also that like, it's very emblematic of the like, what makes me super uncomfortable as a curator is like what the audience remembers and like what is like good art, and I don't know how to balance that. I guess
I think it just comes with experience. Just gotta let crazier and crazier people come into your life, just so that you can see how you would deal with them.
I do feel his perspective would be different if somebody had gotten burned.
Oh yeah.
But that's
he was with a fire extinguisher.
That's just a fire hazard.
You know, I collected every fire extinguisher in the room, and like, but again, I mean, it's like Hana Tarash, for anyone that's not familiar, famously drove a bulldozer through a building in Japan as one of the most infamous like danger music pieces of all time. If that was my building, like I would have lost, I would have lost millions. Like there would have been lawsuits, like et cetera, et cetera. But like that defined the concept of danger music and defined an entire like world of art. And I don't know what to do about that. Sorry, we can leave it. But like, it's like a big conflict in my mind. It's like, am I getting in the way of art by not wanting people to get hurt?
Oh no, I mean that's totally normal, man. That means you have empathy.
I think I also fucked up by being like, you'll have to ask Daniel. Like, because then they were like, we're just not gonna ask him. They were like, do you think we can hang from that? How weight bearing is that? I'm like, no. Like, don't do that.
It's not your fault, dude. People are gonna do what people are gonna do. I'm just glad no one got hurt.
Yeah.
So sure. I could keep going, but that's the hallmark. That's the capstone for sure.
Well, we don't want to advertise them. I was gonna ask them what their like moniker was, but let's not.
No, we can do it. God, what was their shit? It was
their name?
Yeah.
Non grata.
Yeah, non grata.
Oh, sure.
See again, I booked hundreds of shows at the bakery, but you remember that one. You remember their name.
That's because I made the flyers. So most of the time, like, I don't even know. Like, and also I'm not good at making flyers. It was like a template, and it was just me typing in the bands. And like, I'd be like, is this right? And he'd be like, oh no, it's Black Sheep, not Black Sleep, or whatever. Because I would mess up people's band names because they're all weird.
And
it's hard to like get them like correct and shit.
Well, and one, I should have been doing that, but also two, I should have known because that was the Emotron that booked that with me.
Oh yeah.
So like I should have known that shit was gonna get lit on fire, but I didn't know it was gonna get to that degree. Which if you aren't familiar with the Emotron, he's the dude that lights his dick on fire.
Yeah, I have a thing with fire, man. Like I know that like there was a New Jersey music venue like in the '80s that some metal band like was using pyrotechnics inside. And the fire just spread on the ceiling. It's a horror story.
Is that the smoke on the water story?
Huh?
Is that the smoke on the water story?
No, it was like a smaller music venue, and the smoke, the fire just caught on the ceiling really fast.
For sure.
And everybody couldn't get out, and
no,
a bunch of people died. And
no,
stuff
fire
like
and DIY venues is a huge. I mean, that's the reason that the fucking Ghost Ship happened. And like despite
Spooky,
all
man.
of the horrible deaths at that Ghost Ship, that like created a precedent for like super like harsh crackdowns on DIY art spaces across the nation that we're still experiencing. Like it's just not worth the risk and the fallout.
No, it's good.
If you're out there and you're thinking of bringing fireworks or fire to a gig, don't fucking do it.
Hell no, especially not inside.
All I remember is like the next day, like I was normally at least in the building for every show, even if I didn't show my face, but everyone that worked at the bakery was there with like fire extinguishers, and I just happened to not be able to make it back in time for the show, and next day everyone was like, we were so glad you weren't there last night. We were so glad you weren't there. And I was like, what the fuck happened? But yeah, I probably would have lost my mind, so.
Oof.
Anyways. So yeah, that's the answer to that.
Daniel, one more question. Would you rather piss silly string or fart confetti?
We started to get into this before. I think fart confetti, that seems like like mostly humorous, because like I think the silly string you get UTIs all the time.
Very festive. Very festive. I like that answer. Thank you for being on Hot Seat, Daniel.
Woo!
Xenia, what's up, Xenia? Hot Seat.
I'm in it.
Bakery OG, Xenia.
What's up?
How'd you be Willow?
Well,
I would love to hear this story.
I mean, it's not too exciting. I was looking for a studio. I'm an artist, and at the time I was interning at Wonder Root, and they were like, well, there's this new space opening up on the west side.
Yeah.
And I walked up, and I was like, hey, do you have studio space? And they're like, not really, but we'll store your stuff if you help us out.
Yeah.
And I picked up a brush, and I started painting, and I never left. So
Beautiful, that's a beautiful
And
story.
I met her and her mom at the same time, so it was kind of like a package deal.
Mhm.
They seemed crazy enough to want to keep coming back for her.
Hell yeah. I just have a picture in my mind. Have you guys seen the Mighty Ducks 2?
Dude, no.
Specifically the intro scene. It's basically like after they've won their first championship and they're like hanging out in the summertime and they're trying to get the team back together, you know. So they go to each individual house on the rollerblades, like, yo, we're about to go on this tournament, come on, and they follow them and they each go to each individual house. That's what I imagine like
That
what
sounds
happened
sick.
here at the bakery. Yeah.
That's kind of what happened.
I think that was more like what's happening now.
that's like getting everyone
The
back
whole
together.
gang back
Yeah,
together.
now it's
back together.
we're in the like one last heist period.
Yeah.
Ocean's
I'm like, can you
11?
come back from Athens? Can you get back involved? I need you.
Yeah,
Come on,
like when
come on.
COVID hit, we were all like, "Cool, that was tight. Guess we're done with
That
all
was
this
our life
bullshit."
before.
And like, and now it's like, "All right, man, we need to get back." And everyone that like quit is like tight, like opens up their cabinet, and like all their explosive stuff is still in the cabinet from before.
And there's a few of us here, but I mean, there's like 30 of us.
Yeah.
So shout
For
out
sure.
to all the bakery.
Shout out to all the bakery folks.
So if you want to post up, know that that's deep.
It's like an Illuminati pyramid, essentially.
That being said, I personally love the earlier days the most.
Yeah. There's something about the early days.
Well,
The
less
salad
regulation, which worked for me.
Regulation? What?
Quite a controversial member here.
What's
Rules.
some memorable moments for you at the bakery?
Memorable moments. I think the first Halloween party that me
Yeah.
and Willow
Yeah.
attended the whole night, and
Who
we went
did?
to like me and Willow.
The USS bar.
Where we're dressed up as.
We got
Willows.
blindsided by a Halloween party. It came at us.
Like you guys weren't planning on having a Halloween party?
No,
or
this
what?
kid I like worked at a restaurant with was like, hey, we're gonna throw a Halloween party in our basement, but our basement's full of black mold, so can we throw it at the bakery? And I was like, okay, sure.
Oh damn!
And so
it was
we
huge.
had
Up.
Wow.
the biggest Halloween party.
And we
in
were
all
like,
of
oh,
Atlanta.
20
pretty
or
sick.
50 people.
I had to,
No.
I had to like mediate a fight, which was probably the only time I really had to like de-escalate at the bakery
Yeah.
because it wasn't established yet what the vibes were.
Yeah.
Which I think was one of the best. Like
Yeah, that's
There
what I'm
was-
saying.
the
It was
vibes were
wild,
set.
It was chaotic. You could
Yeah.
kind of get away with shit.
Yeah,
People were coming by then. People were like showing up by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't even. No, we had been open for less than 30 days.
Oh, wow,
I
really?
met her, and people were like showing up, being like, "I've never seen or heard of this space," and I was like, "Me neither." And I'm the founder, okay?
I met her in September, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I was looking for a house, and it just happened that there was a house that opened up a block away, and I had just met her a week ago, and I was like, okay, I guess this is my life now. So I rented that house, and then October 7th was the opening. So not even like a month of knowing these people. I'm like working the opening.
Wow.
And then a month later, we're throwing one of the biggest Halloween parties in all of Atlanta, which me and Wilma bartended, dressed as Louise and Tina from Bob's Burgers.
Nice.
And we were just like, "Oh, what's happening? Oh, this is crazy, and it's not stopping."
This
Okay,
is
bonded
Did you guys-
forever.
Did you guys get drunk while you were bartending? Like having a good time?
I think there was like
I think we were like, it was a lot of adrenaline. You know,
just
Yeah.
like adrenaline, just like
You know,
I can
when you're
imagine.
you're taking the
terrified.
credit cards, you're pouring the drinks, you're just
Because,
you're on
like,
that roll.
Mm-hmm.
there was like a conflict, and I just remember like people were like, Willow, there's a conflict, something's happening, and I
Yeah.
just was like, okay, because this had happened at iDrum. Like all of a sudden, I found myself being the only adult at a space, a physical space,
Yeah.
and so like if the police came, if something happened, like
You're
everyone
the
looked
point
at
of
me, and I
contact,
was
yeah.
like, wait, what happened? When did I
Yep.
grow up? You know?
Yeah.
And then I just remember being in the parking lot, like walking to deal with this conflict, and I turned around and there's like 15 people behind me.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. And like Lev was right there, and like, yeah, it was awesome.
Got that crew behind, got you back. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that Halloween party.
De-escalation sucks.
But they kept getting bigger.
Oh yeah. That was. I mean, every Halloween after that was way bigger. I just liked in the beginning because I mean we were still formulating as an amoeba. Like more people were still joining in. There wasn't like official titles.
It was a hot pot.
It was a hot pot.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was a hot pot, 100%.
And you know, you kind of could take on a lot of different roles. Like one day I'd be painting the walls with a spray painter, and other days I was setting up some weird installation.
Yeah.
And so I felt like it, as a space and as like a being that was getting created, it filled a lot of needs.
For sure.
For the artist.
I can't imagine a better like work environment than having solidarity with the music venue and all the people that entails and stuff like that.
Then you have no
That being
fucking
said,
idea.
this was not work.
Yeah.
Just to
Exactly,
be clear, none of us
exactly.
were getting
Yeah.
paid because there was no money.
Depends on your definition of work.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I mean there was endless hours spent, but we all had day jobs or night jobs. I was working in a restaurant at the time.
And the arts are a nightmare world.
It's all about
Yeah,
it's all about
for
the
real.
balance. Like we still gotta abhor the capitalism and pay rent and shit like that,
Yeah.
which we didn't have to.
But you had a question about that or something like that about what you did or
What I did?
no, something about like job related.
What do you do outside the
Oh,
venue?
yeah.
What do you do outside?
Well,
the
I
venue?
literally changed my job so I could continue participating.
So did
in
she.
the- Yeah.
That's awesome.
I kind of sort of. I didn't have a job.
These two really did.
Yeah.
Xenia, what's your mood color?
My mood color?
Yeah.
I guess a purple.
Purple? Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Purple?
Majestic.
Yeah.
Very regal.
Like a lavender purple, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were teal.
No, I love teal. My favorite color is everything in the teal mint seafoam
I like teal,
category.
yeah.
But I think mood's different. I think I'm purple.
Okay.
Good answer.
I don't know.
Last question.
Had a lot of sake.
Last question. Which would you rather give up for the rest of your life? Oral sex or cheese?
Cheese.
Yes.
I'm already like lactose intolerant. I still eat it.
There are cheese substitutes.
That
for
was
sure.
too easy.
Okay,
Come
that's too
on.
easy. Thanks for answering questions.
I said
Xenia.
cheese.
Before we move on to the next contestant, you guys like ice cream?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be right
Give me
back.
that lactose.
Damn, this is crazy right now.
This
Can
is
I
a break.
keep eating?
Yeah.
Let's throw some
I
food
don't
in
know if I
here.
can eat anymore.
Let's throw some meat and some lettuce.
There's no lettuce.
No, right there.
It's cabbage, you sick
You
fuck.
nightmare.
It's a
Are
brassica
you from a
oleracea.
country that loves cabbage? Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's all kapusta.
Kapusta.
No, dog.
Can we throw some
it
meat in there
isn't.
too and some shrimps?
It's in Napa, you cur.
We're out of the sake.
We're out of the
Oh
sake.
yeah. Oh,
We have to
Didn't
go.
last long.
We have to go to the Croak Street Market and get more sake.
Where did everybody park? I just want to know.
Did you park at
Greens? The one that you pay?
No, right here,
No,
the house.
just in the. Just
Like
in the
right out,
the one
like
that
right
paid?
out the window.
Yeah, why would you pay? You live
Because you're
here.
rich.
I don't know.
Girl, you do not have the fucking fish ice cream.
Yes, he does.
I mean,
That one.
yeah, I like the different. You haven't eaten. Please eat. I
Is the green matcha or mint?
Yeah, immediately.
Green tea?
Oh yes. The Vert. Verte.
Max, can you
Yeah.
pass me the steak, please?
You open it. I got it.
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, let's do that.
I want that.
The
No, I want
green
this.
tea?
I want to share.
Is
Can
there
we
enough
share?
for both?
I'm not sharing.
¿Por qué no?
I was not talking to you.
No, I'm just announcing to everyone else.
I was talking to Daniel, who loves and respects me.
I love and respect you, but
I should have added my
You're not
titles,
sharing?
and one of my titles
Sounds
is Willow's
hard.
therapist, so you know, I contribute.
Oh,
We're-
absolutely.
we're all each other's therapists. What are the homies? if
Yeah,
not for
BetterHelp has
therapy?
nothing on it.
You want green? You want green?
I want to share.
I want a green.
Can I get one of the chocolate ones?
Chocolate.
But I'll share the only rule with titles that we had was that you couldn't claim something that legally you couldn't do. True. Right?
Yeah.
You
And
have to be
I-
able to perform it for someone other than the me.
Like I can't be a creative director. I'm not a creative director.
Yeah, because you can't be a director.
Dude,
You
I
can
can
be
do.
creative all day long.
I can do whatever I want.
Yes, that was always actually the case.
Yeah.
Let me use the
Because
bathroom
you're
real quick.
self-regulated, and therefore I know I don't have to
think
worry
my
about
Where's
it.
the bathroom?
self-given title as creative director was turned down was creative extraordinaire.
Oh, that's when we all had ridiculous titles that didn't make any sense.
That paper
I was
still
also
archived from it. We could go absolutely go with that. I dealt with your psychotic.
I was just like,
Cute! Oh my god! That's inspired. I've never seen it. I'm very happy.
It's the ice cream portion of Hot Hot Hot
What's that playing on the TV?
It's the hot pot talk log.
That's Greece.
Oh yeah, is it?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. How do you know?
Red Beach.
Oh,
Big-ass boat on
okay. Oh really? You're from Greece? Nice. You ever go back? Hell yeah, dude.
I was actually not supposed to be here. It was supposed to be Greece.
Oh wow! I feel honored that you skipped the Greece trip.
Festival.
Wow, thank you so much. Daniel.
Is it perfect melty?
no, I'm waiting for Daniel.
Okay, cool. 'Cause I'll eat some meat.
Yeah, I love it. But is it melty yet?
Oh, it's not.
Oh.
Get into it. It's gonna get.
Damn. I can eat fish and then meat. Well, not fish, but fish.
Oh my god.
So good, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different flavors too.
Can you get this a deep freeze?
Yeah.
Hell
They're
yeah.
at H-Mart.
I mean, I'm sure they're all good, but like, I have a sesame sauce
I hear from my mom now. You better buckle up, it's daddy bucks.
Like, that was the best.
Hell yeah, dude. Daddy's so
Inappropriate. Inappropriate.
Do whatever daddy bucks. I use that one every now and again. This for its kicks, dude.
Daddy bucks.
You fucking Let's go. Damn, that's a good tag. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah.
That's like peak Daniel before I was like deeply, deeply depressed. I was just like deeply depressed.
All right, last contestant on Hot Pot Hot Seat, Lev. How you
Hot
doing? Hot Pot Hot Seat.
It's not bad.
Lev, can you describe your role with the bakery?
Well, I met Willow at iDrum because I did a film for Chris Bradley. Shout out. Very talented musician.
Shout out Chris Bradley.
And Carpenter.
And
And he had asked me. I did a dance film with Nika, Austin, and Raina. Shout out to them, great dancers,
Shout
artists,
out.
choreographers.
Oh, yeah.
And I did that screening, and then I didn't see them for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I went to Ukraine to visit my grandmother, and I came back to the States.
I love
and-
those photos that you put out.
Oh yeah, thank you. Oh, also I'm doing a screening of the film about my grandmother on Friday at
Oh,
Peter
nice.
Street Station.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they hit me up about that. Audiovisual Club, shout out to them too.
Yeah.
And I got back to the States, and I was a bartender at the time at a Bellina in Pond City Market. And I got back, and my bar manager, who had told me I would have a job when I get back, because I was gone for over a month, got fired. He drank a lot. I mean, shout out to Cole, but he drank a lot. So I got back, and I found out that, oh, I don't really have my job back, because there are too many enemies at the higher level of management.
Yeah.
So I was like thinking about quitting, and so I bartended a party at Argonoa. Shout out to Kyle, because he was doing cool shows at...
Shout out.
He's our ambassador.
Oh, okay.
And
That
so-
makes
He's a
sense.
diplomat.
R.I.P. Argonoa.
R.I.P. Argonoa.
That's real.
Oh, really?
But I was bartending. Oh, is it? Oh, that is Foxborough. Yeah, that's true. Man,
So
Atlanta's
sad.
changing so quick, man. And so I was bartending some shows there, and I ran into Willow. The first week I had gotten back, I think it was a Homeboy show. Shout out to Homeboy.
Homeboy.
Yeah, and and Willow was like, I just got a warehouse. I was like, what? So I went to check it out, and I mean, look, how many people do you hear say, I want a warehouse, so many people always say they want to do that, but
no one gets a warehouse.
But nobody has like the grit to actually do it, because it's an insane thing to do.
Willow does.
Willow does.
Whoopsie.
And so when I saw it, I was like, damn, this is like awesome. And I'll say this, like, props to you, but everybody here, is I had no concept of what it could be from seeing the original state it was in. Like, I could not have in my wildest
There wasn't
dreams.
electricity in half the room.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was like, oh, cool, this is like real grungy. We can just do this for the next 3 years, right? But it became so much more than that. And I think that's really why I stuck around, is because I'm like pretty careful about what I get involved with, because you never know. People can be difficult, and people can be selfish, and people can be a lot of different things. And like, so the first thing I did there was I put up a mural, because people were putting up murals.
Yeah.
So I put up my one and only mural, and really the last painting I've done. And I did that, and then I kind of just like wanted to see how else I can. So the opening day, I remember we were drilling holes in the concrete floor to put up those walls. And again, like just like even like we were
get on a
literally
ladder,
digging holes.
Grab a
Before we were filling them in, we were putting insulation in these walls, and then before with your mother.
And again, like I had no concept of like, you need walls that were movable, which are not movable actually in the long run.
We never ended up
but like just the idea of like breaking up the space, like the vision for the space really like impressed me, because it's not something, I'm not a very spatial thinker, I guess. I have really bad sense of direction. And so I just was like, damn, this is like kind of, I mean, it's a dream, right? It's what else in our world that is incredibly alienating, that is incredibly more and more sterile, and just like kind of, it breaks your brain a little bit. It was really nice to see this like locus that was all of a sudden drawing all of these weird people who were not only like creative, but also responsible with their creativity, right? Like they could actually execute these visions that are much bigger than themselves. And so, that just kind of like really kept me there. And after like a couple of months, I was actually like proud to say I was a part of this thing, because I could just see how much like, the people that stuck around, the people that kind of like committed themselves responsibly were really about it. So to answer your question, my role there, I mean, I don't know. I guess Willow says community ambassador.
Also documentarian.
Yeah, I documented a lot.
That's very important.
I have a lot of footage from that time, and it's, like I've used it for fundraiser videos and promotions, and I always wanted to, I had like a much bigger concept that I wanted to shoot there, and maybe I would have if it wasn't for the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because I was like really gearing up to like just be like, let's just do it, like I'll figure it out.
Well, our last like 3 months of calendar were just like stacked, the best of the best of the best, and it would have been just like.
It was insane.
So mad.
And so so it was really heartbreaking in one way, but everything moves and changes in ways that you can't predict. So
that's probably the biggest wrench in y'all's plans? Like something that you guys have had to overcome was the pandemic.
Everyone did though,
Yeah,
right? No one.
But as a whole
predicted it.
entity, the bakery, the pandemic, it definitely
Crashed.
I will say, I also
crashed.
think it saved my life. I will offer that one.
Hell
I
yeah.
also
We
think
were
that.
all really burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when
For
someone
sure.
told me I had to stay in my house for 3 months, I was thrilled. I was relieved. I was like, just like, I could have cried for days. I was so happy.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And honestly, like, I don't know where this next iteration is gonna go, but if it goes the way I think it's gonna go, the pandemic actually really helped us.
Hell yeah.
Like, get
Well,
there.
I mean, I think I learned a lot. I think I learned a lot about my relationship with the arts and curation because of the pandemic. And like when I didn't realize, I think I'd been like almost gaslighting myself into like, oh no, this is just how it feels. And when I was like forced to take that break, it's like, oh, my relationship doesn't have to be this unsustainable.
Yeah,
And
for
like
sure.
makes you reassess. Like, I mean, all of us probably like what that relationship was and didn't just like charge blindly into something like reckless, but really like think about, okay, like what actually we want and not like where did we end up.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for everybody. But,
Yeah, so we started like getting sleep.
I mean, you know, it goes back to a lot of questions you've asked, but like something just keeping in mind is that there was no structure. We were creating it as we went.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of trial and error, and everybody like figuring out what you're not supposed to do or what you
Yes.
should do and
Yeah.
how to do it as you were doing it. So like it took a while to like create structure.
Yeah.
But then by that point, we definitely had unhealthy boundaries with the work.
For sure.
Everybody overstayed their time, stayed way too late. You know,
The great bakery reset.
overbooked.
Yeah, the universe reset was really good for the series.
Yeah.
For sure.
For the bakery canon.
I will say, I feel like maybe for me, I wasn't as unhealthy with it because I always try to prioritize my health. But I will say, no, but that's just to say
That's
that
why
I
he's
think.
an ambassador.
But I think it's like important because the unhealthiness, the unhealthiness that comes with it, I think, is also counteracting just how unhealthy normal life is also. You know,
Yeah.
just like the things that get normalized, you know, are also very unhealthy, but because they're normal, it's way easier to do that. you know?
Yeah,
And so
for
like,
sure.
it's like you really realize that if you want to do something outside of what's like laid out for you, you're just fighting like nonstop. People, institutions that do not share that you exist.
Breaking boundaries,
So,
baby.
it's very difficult.
At least we were staying longer because we were liking what we were doing.
Mhm.
It wasn't
Yeah,
because we were
exactly.
on somebody's clock.
That's why I didn't
Usually
feel
when you
unhealthy.
enjoy yourself, it becomes unhealthy. It's been days
No.
you haven't eaten.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't feel unhealthy, but it
But
probably
it is.
It definitely
It
is.
is.
Yeah. Well, because it is that sort of like that entrepreneurial, like almost like even though it is outside the boundaries of capitalism, but that very like
Yeah.
United States idea of like entrepreneurial, like the grind culture or whatever, like the grind set that ultimately is a super toxic mindset to have, where it's like, oh, if I'm working harder, good things will happen. It's like, no, it's not just about like banging your head against a wall and like not eating or whatever. Like you
Yeah.
can do it in sustainable ways. It doesn't have to suck ass all the time.
And we were also being led by a person who has like a very throw shit on the wall, see what happens approach to
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Which is how we got like our three, like, they're not our core values. What are they? Like the three, I don't know. It's somewhere in between our mission,
Experiment,
vision, and like
collaborate,
core values
play.
is
Play.
experiment, collaborate, and play.
Yeah.
And that's been true, like, it's
The
still
whole
is.
time.
Experiment, collaborate, and play.
Well, before the
Yeah.
I like
bakery,
that.
you know, if I wanted to do something, I was like, okay, well, I have to have a plan.
Yeah.
Will obliterated that. Basically, it was like, we can just wing it. We can just like
Do
act
it now,
like we
you have
know
3
what we're
hours.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I remember very vividly spray painting with very little protection, probably gonna get cancer. Walls at like 4 a.m. for an event that was starting at like 10.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a very big event, and the people that came in that had rented our space were like, why can't, you know, it smells really intense.
They didn't rent it for money, so
What?
they didn't rent it for money.
Oh,
so
that's good. I didn't know. I
it
was
was
just a
very
painter.
little money.
But like,
For
yeah,
a
the
good
walls
cause.
were still wet.
Yeah.
For an event where we were supposed to look more professional, it was a more official thing. Up until then, we were just, you know, doing raves and
Yeah.
you know, DIY shows.
Rice cakes.
Rice cakes.
But that never stops, dude.
But it was a little bit more official of an event. And
they had surveillance. They were like, there's gonna be national surveillance on the event.
So what did we do? We were like, okay, we're just gonna paint everything white, you know, because there was murals from the previous art space that we had taken over. Because again, we've only been open for 4 months. There's no air conditioning, and some rooms don't have electricity.
Yeah.
So we just painted everything white, and it's still wet, and they're here. And Willow's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So you know that's kind of contagious, and you know, I think it helped us do some ridiculous things.
That's what I think. That's what people loved about it, though, too.
Exactly.
Because again, it's so hard to do what we were doing. I think, realistically, it's very hard to do that. That when people see it, it really
lost money.
But it breaks your brain a little bit because you're so used to this thing that has been sanctioned that it's just kind of like when you see there's alternatives possible. You know, like not in an abstract, but in a concrete, like literally, like this is a thing that can exist. I think like seeing that in people was like probably the thing that kept me going. Just being like, oh no, this is important. Like this is this space is giving people a sense of life that they don't have in everyday life.
Absolutely.
That we're denied in everyday life by design. And if this thing can give that life, even though it burns us out in the process, like that's better than not having it at all.
Yeah, I would agree.
So.
That's really beautiful. I'm really happy to hear the level of solidarity that you guys have with each other. It's really beautiful. Lev, one last question.
Yeah.
Would you rather vomit on your hero or have your hero vomit on you?
Who's your hero?
I don't know. My hero. I feel like I think my hero. I can't really think of the person, but they're old, I think, and I'm okay with them vomiting on me. I feel like I don't know how they would react to me vomiting on them.
Yeah.
But I know they vomit on me. I'll be like, it's all right, and maybe it'll be a bonding experience.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Like, all right, cool. I remember that.
Good answer, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for partaking in Hapa Hot Seat on the Hapa Tagwa.
What about Kurt? Just saying. They're an active member of the community.
Can we spotlight the bunny mask real quick?
Oh yeah, what's up with the bunny?
What about Kurt? Bring Kurt over here. Kurt's coming.
Yeah, there it is.
Me and Amanda. Oh.
Oh, bunny mask? Frank.
Isn't it?
Yeah, Willow, I like that match.
It looks a lot like an Evangelion robot for all the anime weebs out there.
Yeah.
Amanda gave it to me for my birthday.
Aw, that's so cute.
Which was 2 days ago.
Happy belated birthday.
Hey,
But I didn't give it to her like that.
Gemini
no, it
Queen.
was a little Gemini. It was like a little kit that it was like, make valley folds, make mountain folds, follow instructions. There was no instructions. I was like, Amanda's really smart. She can figure this out. I'll go over to her house. We'll get ready together. She'll figure the mask out. No, there was no instructions.
Dude,
so we just
cool.
got a stapler and we just figured it out. Per usual.
Per usual.
Oh, yeah.
And it came out really great. That's not what it's supposed to look like, but it's great.
Nope, definitely not what it's supposed to look like.
I love it.
I love you, dog.
I love you, Daniel.
And this is Kurt.
What's up, Kurt?
This would be a bear I've had since high school.
And what's Kurt's role in the bakery?
He drives around shotgun in my vehicle and, you know, keeps me company.
Emotional support bear.
Long nights, you know.
Sometimes you work sound.
How did you wear this all night? I never put this on. How did you wear this for 3 hours?
I don't know. It was a protection.
Very hard to see.
Yes.
No peripheral vision.
Oh no, it was very limiting. Stairs were hard.
Willow wore this for like 4 hours last night.
Limits are the parents of creation.
Find your edges.
Oh yeah. That's
I just
dope.
remember that the last show I saw before the lockdown was actually at the bakery.
Which one?
Leah.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I feel so bad. They hit me up relatively recently, and I just wasn't in a capacity to be booking. And they played a couple of shows here recently, and I need to hit them up. If you're out there, Adam and Mary Lou, I fuck with y'all, and I want you back.
I want you
It was an
back.
incredibly ominous show, like for the last one before the world shut down.
Do you remember what day it was?
I think it was,
was
the
like a
9th.
Sunday.
Can I ask
I'm
a
pretty sure it was the
question?
9th of
And
March.
everything
Yeah,
shut
the
down
last
on
thing we
Thursday.
ever did was Friday the 13th. Friday, March 13th.
I interviewed
No,
people.
it was
No,
Sunday.
it
It was
wasn't.
Sunday.
Well, no,
No?
well, Saturday the 14th was my band show.
It was the weekend.
That was the
It
last
that
one.
I don't know.
weekend.
The
13th
Friday
is
the
what I
13th
worked.
was like the last one, and then
Yeah.
Daniel decided to still play his show, which was fine. And then we had a little like art pop up on Sunday, and we asked the organizers if they wanted to move forward, and they went, and then that was.
Yeah.
That was
I
it.
remember Lev was like there interviewing people and
Yeah.
was like, what do you, and Lev was like, so hardcore COVID. Like you were like
Like knew
right,
what was
like,
happening
yeah,
on
from
the
the beginning.
news,
Like
yeah.
it's like following from like the origin in China.
Like a month
early
ahead
days.
was like, this is coming,
Yeah.
this is
I
coming.
told y'all it was gonna be crazy. I was there with this. Like, this is gonna fuck some shit up.
I mean, I have footage like of people. I was just asking them like, what do you think about this COVID? And I have like this one young woman who's like, oh, it's just the flu, which is everyone was saying that. Like, I'm not gonna fault them, but they're like, it's just the flu, whatever. And they're like, and I was just in Italy myself, so maybe I'm carrying COVID, and everybody laughed. And like looking back at that, like maybe,
Probably were.
maybe. You very much could have been bringing COVID from
It would be
Italy.
really interesting to look at all that footage now, because like nobody knew anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I had a conversation
Can I
with
ask
you
a
about it.
question?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
your question?
From the last 3 months of booking that we already had set up, we had a lot of cool bands that were gonna play, but they didn't because of the pandemic. What was one that you were really looking forward to, and you're pissed that you didn't get to see them and have them come to the bakery? Daniel? Anybody? Like Daniel wants to say something.
Dude, no, okay. If anyone out there is listening, to this day I'm salty. It was Soul Glow. If anyone's familiar with that.
So Glow?
Soul Glow from
Oh,
Philadelphia.
okay.
They're a hardcore band, and Lord Narf and Stem Lines and Playtime. It was gonna be like a half like R&B electronic, half hardcore punk show. There was gonna be fucking hundreds of people. That shit was gonna be so fucking lit.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
That and the Abusive Power farewell show was gonna happen at the bakery, and that was gonna be absolutely stupid. Those are the two like big L's that I feel like in my life. Sorry, I've thought about this a lot.
We can get him back.
I'm not scarred.
For me, it wasn't even a show. It's like I think after years of filming there, I figured out how I wanted to do it.
And then
I was
right when
like,
you were ready,
and I was like,
they
okay,
took
I
it
think
from you.
because it's like a formal thing. You know, you can get a glut of footage, but I had like a formal approach that I decided upon. And I was like, okay, I don't need a lot of time even. I just need like a couple days a week of good programming, and I would like have this thing. And then instead, I was like, oh no, we're gonna shut down. Like as soon as I saw Italy, I was like, this is it. And there was like no way to pivot at that point to get what I wanted to get. And that was really a bummer. But I will say on the flip side, I ended up making a feature documentary at New Square, you know, of people talking about COVID. And even though that film has not gotten any like festival recognition or anything yet, I do think that that's like a pretty important document of that time, because people were going through it. It was a really important year that I think as we get back to normal, like there's no getting back to normal. There's no normal. Like we can't go back to the way things were. Like things are definitely weird, like in a way that we can't even really comprehend, and that weirdness is going to only spiral. So
Check out film 2020.
it's called 20.
20.
But I think also like we were gonna host like Morph's 4-year anniversary.
Yeah, and
Our
SFQV's,
last event was gonna be SFQV's yearly festival. Like we were gonna go out like literally like their festival and then like move out of the building. So like there's like, and there was other
and I
like DIY scenes and activities and groups that had been like happening that were about to like have this like moment when things were really working.
Well, it was a
That
boil.
was-
It was a
peaking,
boil. It was a
for
boil.
sure. We were peaking
Well,
when we
so
were
much,
cut off.
but so much had been cultivated there that I think everyone wanted their like kind of like last hurrah with that
Mhm.
space, and like I think everyone
None of
was
us got
survived
it.
with that.
Yeah, we had just started planning like a fundraising bash, and like I personally was kind of in a similar situation where February 2020 I had just quit my then job and was like, I'm gonna dedicate all my time to the bakery and like this fundraiser, and we're gonna end in June and everything's gonna be great, and
There's gonna be a future.
Yeah, we're gonna fundraise for a new space, and in a lot of ways we're kind of just like picking back
Literally
up
back
where
up.
we left off.
You were sewing for days.
I was sewing for days
we were gonna
for
do
this
that crazy
project.
thing.
We were gonna
Oh,
do
yeah.
like a really cool project, and we had like all these donated bed sheets that I went to like a film warehouse to get. Like they gave us a bunch of bed sheets and blankets and random fabrics, and me and Maggie and Naya and other people were sewing them all together. and we're gonna do this giant project with them that never happened.
What were you trying to make?
Maybe it will still happen. You never
Well,
know.
shout out Gregory Rossa.
MVP.
So we're, at the time, we also had this like secondary kind of flex place called New Square, underground Atlanta, above ground, and that lease was supposed to be a year long, so it kind of ended up acting as like a storage unit. But we had just gotten that space, and the idea was, who's the artist who it was inspired by? I'm forgetting their name. It's like, yes. And they
Wrapping buildings.
They covered these buildings and monuments and stuff in fabric, and it's beautiful and amazing. So we were like, let's cover New Square in fabric, and that would
Just
be
like a random ass DIY project.
Because then, like everyone coming into down, and we were gonna do it just one night, overnight. That way, overnight.
That's a
everyone
normal
passing
thing to
by
do.
would be like, whoa, and it would like just draw attention to the building. And
It was maybe guerrilla style.
Yeah.
You know, in the middle of the night, no one would see us. Next day, the building would be covered in fabric. You know.
And that would make all the questions spark about the
Well-
space that we were about to activate for a year.
Yeah. And that's where I shot my documentary, was in the upstairs of that. But I don't know if you're gonna, I don't know if this is like, what's it called?
Yeah.
But
No,
the
let's
fabrics, the fabrics got a second life that
Yes, they
we wouldn't
did,
have even
yeah.
ever imagined before the pandemic.
Virginia?
Uh-huh.
The fabrics?
What about them?
What did we do with them?
Oh, they're in lots of boxes.
Not those fabrics.
Oh.
You and me and William and my mom.
Yeah.
Give me that.
What do we do with them?
You went to the fucking woods with me.
Oh yeah, we put them on the trees.
Yeah.
They made it.
Okay, actually, Lev, you tell the story. That's a little better.
Well, no, the thing is, I didn't actually put them up, but
Yeah.
shout out to anybody listening. Defend the forest. Stop Cop City. They're trying to
Cop
destroy.
City, fuck cops.
Fuck cops.
Fuck Cop City. They're trying to cut down the forest to build a giant militarization zone for the southeast. It's gonna have not only the cops, it's gonna have the FBI. It's gonna be like a nightmare that we can't even really comprehend yet. But that space that a lot of people go to, that's colloquially called the living room right now, I think was kind of in the beginning or early on defined by the fabrics that got put up, and that was the fabrics that were meant to be on a building that was gonna be activated in downtown, and you guys were just like, let's put them up.
Amanda and other people sewed these fabrics. They were existing. They were in storage. I wanted to hang them from the trees. I wrote this one, my mother and our friend William, into, he was tall, so he was useful.
Wow.
Into,
Oh, Will Kennedy.
Yep, yep.
Shout out. Also, Will and Maggie and Parks also, they built that iconic ceiling that would light up for the
Oh,
show.
yeah, hell yeah.
I have
Maggie
footage of them
also
taking
sewed
them
a lot
down.
of those fabrics and gathered a lot
Yeah,
of them. Shout out Maggie.
Maggie was a huge
Yeah,
part of the
some-
bakery.
Yeah.
There's some
that-
talented
Our
people right
original
there.
website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maggie did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She's
in Slovenia.
She met
We're gonna be
with
moving.
me when I had a 9 to 5 and came and like built the website there.
Yeah.
Tech Queen.
Wow.
How you came?
The IT department, actually.
Oh right,
IT
yeah.
department, yeah.
Sorry.
OG title.
I think she would be okay with Tech Queen, but
Hacker.
hacker.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like more that way.
Yeah.
You had a dream about a warehouse, remember?
Oh yeah, that's true. And I didn't realize this until like probably a couple of years into the whole thing. But yeah, so when I was in Ukraine, because again that's where I'm originally from, and I was at my grandmother's, and that was the first time I saw her in like probably 8 or so years, and I was trying to just sort of like do yoga and meditate on her, like she has like a farm, so it's like the field in front of her house. And she'd probably never seen anyone do that on her. But she let me do it, which was really nice
That's so
of her.
cool.
And I would like kind of like do like humming meditation too, and then like all the dogs in the neighborhood would start howling with me, which is also
Yeah.
pretty cool. But there was like a day that I had this dream, and it's a recurring dream I had other times, where I'd be like in somewhat of a post-apocalyptic kind of dystopian environment, but there would be like this giant like concrete building that I remember in that dream specifically. I was with like I think it was with a woman, and we walked into the building, and it was just like kind of like essentially what the bakery kind of was, like a DIY gallery space that again just felt very like dystopian in the sense that this is like the conditions of the world were not good, but the space inside was like super cool and kind of a haven for whatever was going on inside of it.
Yeah.
And I remember that dream, and then that morning I did my like stretches and meditation, and I remember like doing like sort of like the humming meditation, and I've never had this experience ever again, which was where like my whole body started like vibrating really intensely.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen again because I try to meditate regularly, but that's never happened to me. And I remember like not being able to like handle how much vibration was happening inside of my body, that when I like opened my eyes, I felt like my hands were just like, my fingertips were vibrating. And I was like, if I touch an ill person right now, I could heal them. Like that's how it felt. I know that's, like no, but like that's how it felt. I had like all this energy just coursing that needed to go somewhere.
It has to do with blood flow.
Yeah. So my blood was just like, I've never had that experience ever.
Insane.
Like there's the one time I've had it, which was like, you know, on my ancestral land in front of my grandmother's home after I had that dream. And then when I came to the bakery, or to Atlanta, and I met with
we were
Willow,
like in a backyard at a performance.
Yeah, it was like 2 years later that I realized like, oh, like I had a dream about something like this right before I came back to Atlanta. That again, a lot of people say, oh, I have a dream, I want to do something like that.
Yeah.
But like I just got lucky that I met somebody that like facilitated that process, that I could just participate in. But it like one of like those things, I think as a human being make things feel kind of cosmic. And whatever, you know, I'm not religious in a religious sense, but it's like it's cool to have those like nodes of meaning kind of connect each other, because again, like you never know like when a brick is gonna fall on your head, and that's curtains, right? So to have those kind of moments along in your life to like be able to reflect on, I think is really like, I don't know, it just gives it meaning. It makes it feel like, okay, this is not just all like random brutal alienation. Like there's some moments that feel transcendent.
Hold on to that for sure.
Yeah, and I really hope that, I think everyone here has had some kind of transcendental moment at the bakery in some capacity.
Let's do this. Willow, I'm gonna give you the last question for the show. What do all these people around you mean to you personally, as well as the bakery?
I had this like, I always kind of knew I'd move back to Atlanta. I left when I was like 18. I moved away for 10 years and I came back, and I always kind of knew I'd come back, but I also knew I didn't want to be in the South. I thought the South was like not a good place to be, and I left it for a reason. And when I started the bakery, I was like in a really low place in my life and kind of just like very lost and very depressed. And I just turned 35, and I was like, oh, I want to be in Berlin, I want to be in Europe, I want to be someplace else, doing something else. And I fucking like just like had an amazing month, an amazing birthday. Like I have a sense of community that I've never had. I have friends that like will move away and go do other things, and I will talk on the phone to Lev for like 2 hours, and like Daniel will go back to Greece and we'll like FaceTime every day, and Amanda and Daniel are still by my side like through the fucking like everything, you know? And so, and then like I get to meet cool people who are doing cool shit here. And I mean, I've lived in New York City, I've lived in Brooklyn, I've lived in Boston, I've traveled around the world, and I've met amazing people along the way, but like who the fuck knew that, you know, a Greek, a Ukrainian, like someone from like Georgia, this fucking weirdo right here would like make this thing that is like so fucking incredible. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, pretty happy.
I think that's a pretty good time to wrap up the show. Thank you so much to the bakery folks for being on Hot Pot Talk Block. Alice, thanks for letting me meet your friends.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
And just a reminder, there's so many more people that have made this thing happen, like countless people. And this is just because we can fit at a table, but there's so many people that.
Shout out to all the bakery folks, past and present. We're thinking of you.
And future.
And future too. Nelward, Nick has agreed to play us off karaoke style. Thank you so much for coming, y'all. Hot Pot Top Block,
Nick
9th episode.
wanted to say something a long time ago.
Oh, I just said bakery was my favorite. That's my favorite thing. Thanks.
Yeah, Hot Pot Top Block, 9th episode.
Like, what do these people mean to you? I can't remember who I was talking to, but the other day, someone was like, "Oh, who's Willow?" And I don't remember who I was talking to. I was like, "Oh, Willow fills a lot of roles for me," and they heard holes. Willow fills a lot of roles.
I don't think there's. Oh yeah, there's.
So this is not. I did not practice. This is karaoke. Okay. Oh, I can't hear the song. Okay. You must. Yeah, this is the song. If we can start over. I'm about to jump in with some Scatman's World, just completely ruin the situation. Oh no, I can't see it. All right. All right. I'm so sorry to interrupt with Scatman's World. Scatman's World. I'm sorry. I'm calling up from Scatman's World. If you wanna break free, you better listen to me. You gotta learn how to see in your fantasy. I'm calling up from Scatman. I'm calling up from Scatman's World. If you wanna break free, you better listen to me. You got to learn how to see in your fantasy. Everybody's talking something very shocking just to keep on blocking what's real inside. But listen to me, brother, you just keep on walking. Cause you and me and sister ain't got nothing to hide. Sitting in fat and black and white. Tell me about the color of your soul. If part of your solution isn't ending the pollution, then I don't want to hear your story told. I want to welcome you to Scatman's World. I'm calling up from Scatman. I'm calling up from Scatman's World. If you wanna break free, you better listen to me. You got to learn how to see in your fantasy. You compete as he chooses, but how can someone win if winning means that someone loses? If I sit and see, wonder what it's like to be in touch. No wonder all my brothers and my sisters got a crutch. I wanna be a human being, not a human doing. I couldn't keep that pace up if I tried. The source of my invention isn't really crime prevention. My intention is prevention of the lie. Yeah. Calling up from Scatman's World. If you wanna break free, you better listen to me. You got to learn how to see in your fantasy. I'm sorry, Scatman. I'm sorry. Scatman's rolling his grave. Calling up from Scatman. I'm calling up from Scatman's World. If you wanna break free, you better listen to me. You got to learn how to see in your fantasy. That's the keychain. I'm calling up from Scatman. I'm calling up from Scatman's World. If you wanna break free, you better listen to me. You got to learn how to see in your fantasy. Sorry, Scatman.
Continue to scat ad nauseum? Are you fucking kidding me? Damn.
Wow.
Nick, get continue to scat ad nauseum tattooed on your chest.